Hello, we're live. On that note, oh my fucking back was the first thing that I think went.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, Troy, read this what Doc Foy just put up. He's been listening to Shadows of Estrin, which was our very first thing. And it's always awesome to hear people like watching our very first baby steps thing.
Yeah, buddy. Support SD. It's a great game.
It is a great game. We should play either more of that or like I really want to play Tainted Grail when that comes out because it looks awesome.
Yeah,
I'm all about that.
We could do a little mini campaign or whatever with that.
Yeah, I'm totally about that because I love the Green Knight movie, which was kind of along that vibe. It took the Green Knight legend and like made it a little different. It was, I mean, it told the story like exactly the way it was supposed to be, but it added some other stuff that I really liked. It took me a couple times to watch the movie to like it, but I really did like it. The Bad Spot. Hey, he's back. He came back. We started with Salami Sepsis. That was his first exposure to us, and he's back.
Salami
Excellent.
sepsis.
Yes.
Wait,
That's kind of sepsis.
the people want more.
That's right. They want more sepsis. So,
Save all of your food-related injuries for us, Troy. The people, they want to know.
They want to know. You still haven't told me any stories about anything like up anybody's butt, which is like the one thing I told you I wanted to hear when you became an EMT.
To be fair, I haven't had any yet firsthand, which is crazy because I worked in
amazing.
for almost
So
3
you have
years.
something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guys before me had a lot of stories about it, though. Yeah.
I mean, that's the sort of thing that sticks with you, you know?
Like full-size shampoo bottles, like a 12-ounce can of Mountain Dew.
I have
just-
this one story. Yeah, I only have one story that I was told before. There was this guy I knew who was like an emergency room doctor, right? And so, like, I'm like, okay, dude, like, what's your like best story, right? And so that was his best story was a guy who came in with a shampoo bottle up there. Like just lodged in place and was like, you need to get this out of me. My wife's at book club and she's coming home in an hour.
It's like, my dude, this is going to take a little longer than an hour.
And that is exactly what he said to him. And it was just, it was so funny. So anyway, you want to use something with a flared base if you're going to do that, preferably.
All these shampoo bottles
Or
lead me to
a
believe that this is a
retrieval
spontaneous
device.
decision. Like there was
Possibly
no planning.
something
They were
that's
just
like
showering that they were
designed for
like,
said
yeah,
activity.
it's
Yeah.
my birthday.
It's my birthday.
Anyway,
Ish.
we'll stop on that. And what announcements do we have? I have one. Look for if you're a fan of RuneQuest and you listen to Ludovic and Jorg's excellent God Learners podcast about all things RuneQuest. Pretty soon, possibly this weekend, there'll be an episode dropping in which Amber and I are interviewed as Gloranthan Initiations, part of their Gloranthan Initiation series. It was done a little while ago, but it's finally been edited and should be dropping very soon. So look for that. You can hear us assholes talk about more things, Glorantha, with people who are much more civilized than we are. Other than that, I don't think we have much else to say. Do we?
I don't think so. I think we're down to
we're
Sarah
ready.
today, so we'll be wrapping up this adventure and then probably doing a one shot and then getting into the final Vaesen mystery of this stint here. I am voting. I'm pulling really hard for the one shot between this adventure and the next one to be soup based. So
I want to do the soup one too. So that's 2 votes already. We'll just get soup. The thing is,
there's
we have
an
to all get the
RPG you
soup.
play with soup. The
We
resolution
have to
mechanic
all
is
get the
soup.
same soup, don't we? Because otherwise, it's not fair.
You know what? It's like having a different class. Like we should have different soups classes.
They all
So
have different soups.
Yeah,
That's
one
fine.
of you sucks, and then the other one is, the rogue or the bard.
Troy's just eating borscht.
No, I'm telling you, cream of corn is soup.
Rainey just played this game. I don't know if he's like uploaded it yet, but I know he just played this game.
He
and
did
it's
upload it.
coming
I
soon.
read it.
Oh,
It's
did
so
you?
great. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
it's so awesome.
the podcast.
Oh, the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
His podcast of the soup game will be upcoming as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's
definitely.
meeting with the creator.
Yes,
to
Goose
talk
Poop is the name.
about
Goose Poop
stuff.
Games is the creator. He's going to talk with him about that. So Rainey is doing great with Rainey Plays Games. Everybody should check that out. And everybody should also wish Rainey luck because he's been working very hard for something he only has, at this point, less than 24 hours to do, which is to get the game design thing to Chaosium. They're having like a basic role-playing system thing. And he designed a really cool game about time travel for that.
Cool.
And he's been working really hard on that. So hopefully fingers crossed. He was telling me this morning, like what he had left to do.
He's got this. He's done grad school. He's fine. He's
Yeah, that's
fine.
right.
He did all of grad school. He's got this.
Bang an Adderall and get it out.
It's not even 10 o'clock at night yet. He's fine.
So he's fine. He's
He
fine.
has a child now. That is a major difference. Okay.
I got my
Little baby.
CFP while I had a little baby. He can do the same thing.
I was gonna say, as somebody who's in grad school, has 2 kids, and doesn't sleep, he'll be fine.
Your
He's
kids
fine,
are
he's
also
fine.
older.
The
His little
gingers
brother-
are made of
5
different
and
stuff.
7,
That's
Jess.
worse.
I know, but they're older than
That's worse.
Jess
Right,
is like
that
a
is
5-year-old can totally watch itself. I know what children are.
Jess is like,
Totally.
Jess
I'm
is
so
like,
worse.
Jess
They're
is the
old
same
toaster.
height, so
Open
don't throw it in the
jars.
bath.
Please. I watched
Yeah.
your kids for like one day and I was exhausted.
Yeah, I bet.
I was drained.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that's
do
mostly
that
because
too.
they kept telling us, it's like,
Body
oh, we
crushed.
don't have to listen to you. We only have to listen to our dad.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about that day. That day was
Hell
hard
yeah.
too.
You weren't even in the state.
Bullying other children and bullying Jess.
They are blisses.
It's
Like
so
the Jess
funny.
thing tracks, but you have to be nice to that other kid.
Hey.
Hey, don't
Wow.
spit on
Hey.
them. Well, if it's Jess, it's fine.
Yeah, hey.
No.
That's-
They only spit on me.
That is true. No, that was awesome.
Want me to recap?
Yes, if you would not mind.
I will honor our ancient path. So, last session, we continued along in the late evening after Rosalie's art show. We found out what had happened to Ronaldo. Ronaldo unfortunately had a health scare, but woke up and was well taken care of by some ladies who work at a place called the Velvet Glove. Awesome name. And they took care of him. Not in the way they traditionally do, but in a medical way. And he managed to finally catch up to Rosalie at her house afterwards, and everyone was already there because we were all commiserating about having met, what's the little girl's name? Aoife. And Aoife, we gave her some bread, and she told us more about this horrible, horrible guy whose name I know I have
Brent
written.
Allred, aka Tiny PP, is what I have written down.
I want you guys to
Lil
know, if
PP.
you're wondering, and glance on the inside as you're looking at names. This is how I run games. This is all the information I have. Of our
It's like
last
that.
3 sessions.
It's like that meme with like, there's a meme out there where like the players being like, "Oh my God, you're such a great DM. You must plan so much." And behind the screen is just a sticky that's like potato with a question mark.
I've got
Which
4
ends up
floating
being
check
a
marks.
key part.
Seance Parlor, Rona, Velvet Glove, a 9, Sean, Bosun. That's what I have.
Sean is the bosun on the ship.
Yes, yeah.
There you go. So,
I
all
don't
right,
even
so
have that written
Aoife,
down, yeah.
Brent Alrin, aka Small PP, we'll roll with that because I like it.
It's
it is-
Lil PP.
It's Little PP?
PP.
I wrote down Tiny
There's no
PP.
T's, Jess, for fuck's sake.
Tiny
Lil
P-
Wayne.
Tiny
Say
PP
Lil
works too.
Wayne.
Little
Now
Wayne,
get rid of
Lil
Wayne and
Wayne.
say
Lil
PP.
Wayne. little PP, Tiny PP. Brett
Lil
Alrin
PP.
runs a shipping operation, but also has mudlarks, which are a Victorian term for like little thiefy kids working for him, like street kids who he enslaves, along with also
They pick
these
trash on the banks of the Thames in the mud. That's where it
Ye-
came from originally.
yes, where
like
it came
little
from,
urchins.
but most of them were actually also thieves.
Yeah,
and-
they're
well,
urchins.
Yeah, and also these Selkie kids who we have come to find out through very stealthy figuring out of his records by sneaking around in this place that he bought them from this Irish boat. So we're going to have to fuck up this crew too, in addition to Brent, who's sufficiently fucked up right now, probably. But
Might be too fucked up. We'll see.
we'll see what happens. So at the end of last session, there was a lot of skullduggery. Riley and Ronaldo went to work there for the day. Nora tried to make friends with the cab driver. Cecilia and Rosalie went to the Velvet Glove, and we had set up this beautiful distraction. We were going to have Mr. Small Peepee's favorite girl come down to distract him for the evening so we could break in. But it turns out we didn't need to because Riley was caught trying to break into his office after Ronaldo faked getting hit in the head with a box. and managed to. That's where we got all the records. But he was caught leaving, and Brent was going to break his hands up above on like kind of the scaffolding above the all those boxes and shit. But in doing so, Invisible Aoife, pushed him and tried to get Riley to escape. Riley, brilliantly knowing that if he did escape, Aoife was like fucked. Grabbed Brent to help him, but really just let him go and fall over the things where he broke all of his legs and a bunch of other shit. Rosalie,
all of his legs, like all seven.
brilliant fake
all
out.
of the stuff is broken. Rosalie pounced on this opportunity to she had like been a Karen outside and was yelling and causing a scene to distract all the dock workers, but she pounced on this to just act, she channeled her very proper upper class upbringing and just started ordering people around, had them ordered everyone to get Brent on a cab and just left with it. And they're going back to
the hospital.
To the hospital is what she told them. But then in there, she was like, you could just die here and no one will know what happens to you because he ain't going to the hospital. He's going back to the Rose house.
Wow.
And we're going to have a chat with him before he gets medical attention or any more medical attention. We need to keep him at least awake long enough to talk to him. So he needs some medical attention.
Shit. All right, pretty good summary, folks.
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt real quick. Sorry. When you said all the legs, implying like it could have been 7, it reminded me of a patient that I just had very recently that we transported to another hospital. And in their packet, it had listed all of their medications. And under their medications, one of them it wasn't a medication, but it's a procedure. It's an enema. And they're from a nursing home. And the way that it was worded in the packet was 1 enema per rectum once per day. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh.
Just look at them. So how many enemas a day do you have?
And you're like 4. And you're like, wait, what?
Oh, sorry, guys.
That's funny shit.
Immediately came to mind when you said the leg thing.
If I were a proctologist, that's how I would write it every single time.
It's not inaccurate.
No, it's not. It's just funny.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
Oh fuck.
Oh god. All right, we are gonna open back at the warehouse. So Rosalie and Brent are on their way to the Rose house in a cab, but most of the other folks here at the warehouse have seen the rapid and bloody departure of Rosalie and Brent, either a little bit or a lot of it, depending on where you were. But we're gonna come back in here on the street where Nora is. Right, you're not in the cab with. No, you're not.
I am not. No, my cab.
The cab guy wasn't having
away.
Here, but how does it work? And he's like, the wheel spins on.
Okay, all right. We don't need to revisit. I think it makes sense. Anyways, yes, I am not in the cab, but I did hear Rosalie say that they are going to the Rose house.
Yes, you were probably closest to Rosalie and Brent, because you had another cab just stopped on the side of the road and you were talking with the driver.
Oh, I assume they took my cab, but yes.
Oh yeah, you know what? I think they did.
Yeah, I literally just like jumped in and the guy left while Rosalie was standing. Yeah.
I'll compare notes later. Ronaldo, I believe you are still on the street nearby as well. Maybe
I'm still on the dock,
still pretending to shake off the head trauma. So we'll start with you two, and then we'll pan to see what Riley is doing inside. He's still on the ground floor of the warehouse right now. You're in full view of the doors though, and you just watched little Aoife taste some of Brent's blood.
I mean, I'm not doing much. I'm probably just passing on word to Ronaldo that they're headed to the Rose house and then off to find Riley to do the same. Yeah.
All right, Ronaldo. Easy enough. Nora approaches you, passes on some news.
I kind of look around at the rest of the dock workers. I'm assuming most of them are no longer working. Most of them
Correct.
are probably
They're not working. They are rubbernecking, lollygagging, all of that good stuff.
Being concerned they don't have jobs,
Yeah, gossiping, swearing, like who's gonna fucking pay us today?
Right. Where's Sean?
Sean is amid one of the crowds on the docks right now.
I guess Ronaldo just kind of takes a second to take all of it in, and he can't help but feel that it's kind of just kind of cements story of his life, right? Being overshadowed, falling into the background, being a nobody, and just being completely overlooked. And he kind of,
It's
after
like, yes, I
50,
too am covered in blood. No, nobody hold the phone
right,
for me.
right, for sure. But honestly, after 54 years of life, Ronaldo's kind of learned to take that in stride. And honestly, a lot of times he uses it to his advantage. So he looks at Nora and he says, well, I guess we best be going.
Do you want to, are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
Do you want to go ahead or do you want to come get Riley with me?
We can go together just in case Riley's in a pinch. I mean,
That's fair.
I did get him here in the first place, so
None of them knowing that you threw him over the edge of the balcony.
no, one of them thinking he did.
All right. The two of you pick your way past a bunch of the gossiping dock workers and kind of look through the main doors into the
Yeah, I'm
body of the
probably
warehouse.
not going inside. I would assume that hopefully Riley would come out unless he's caught.
The doors are wide open, so if
Yeah.
you like strafe along, you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
like look
exactly.
in, you know.
Exactly.
Riley, what are you up to inside?
Riley is because Aoife's still in there. She just kind of
Yes.
like
Yep, she's on the ground floor with you. She's kind of in the background right now.
Yeah.
But she is, you know, you saw her take a little taste of the blood and then
um
look around.
is there like a stack of boxes that I can like move behind from view of
There-
the crowd?
There are stacks of boxes everywhere. Yep.
Okay.
Easy
So
enough to
I'm
find a little nook.
gonna do that. I'm gonna get behind and I'm gonna wave Aoife over to me.
She glances at you and she kind of walks out of you behind some other boxes, and then 20 seconds later, she hops down from above, like behind you.
Damn.
And she's like, "Is he going to die?"
I don't know. I just because Riley doesn't even know who took him away.
Yeah, you like don't know where he is.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't see didn't Rosalie
No.
come in?
I think I did.
Rosalie
Yeah,
came in.
I did.
She came
yeah, I
into
saw
like his body. Yeah, you would have seen Rosalie like
Yeah, that's true.
ordering and yelling at people and stuff.
Yeah. So his response to that is I don't know. Like
If he dies, I don't know that anybody else knows where the skins are.
Oh, she's pretty.
I'm bad
hopefully
at doing accents.
You were doing so well.
Fuck.
hopefully Rosalie can get the information out of him before he dies, because let's be honest, she's probably going to kill him anyway.
Won't bother me none.
But
Oh.
do you
The-
know if there's any place that he would have stashed them in the warehouse?
I've looked all over. I don't think they're here. But you know, my sister and Rory and the other kids, they're upstairs.
In that locked room?
I can open the lock.
We should probably get the rest of them out. I don't know if now's probably the best time to set everyone free while he's being taken care of.
She kind of like peeks around the corner of the boxes for a moment. She says, I don't know, the crew of that boat right there. They're the ones who took us.
I saw the logs in his office. I have I kind of noted some areas where that seemed of interest to them, and it could be where you and the others were picked up.
Does that mean you can get us back home?
Maybe, but we don't know exactly where. There were several spots, all kind of over the place.
Well, we best go out the back. I can get the other kids to follow me.
I'll see if anyone else is around, and maybe we can. Riley's gonna look. Does the warehouse have a big door to close?
So the main doors right now that are open onto the docks are like enormous, like huge ass double doors that are meant for like wagons to be ridden in and out of the warehouse. There are like 2 or 3 other doors on the ground level that look like they lead to outside on different areas of like different streets.
All right. Does she think that we can get all the kids out unnoticed for the most part?
As long as we don't just go all marching out the front, I don't think they'll pay much mind. I mean, all of these guys have seen us here and there. They never said nothing before.
No. Hopefully they won't say anything now.
Never
I'll,
bothered them none.
We'll
I've lost her accent. Fuck me. It's gone.
It was
Yeah,
like
it's okay.
it was like, I want to see my mum again. Like that kind of like, you were kind of like that way.
Mum again.
I want to see my mum. It was kind of like that.
I hope it'll come back to me.
No, you were close. You were close.
I think let's split up and we'll meet back at Rosalie's apartment. How's that?
I can get there.
All right. We'll I'll see who's still around and we'll meet you there.
She nods and squeezes between a couple crates and is off again.
And I'll head onto towards the main to look for whoever's still around. Probably seeing Nora and Ronaldo.
Yep, they're out there just kind of.
What happened? Who died?
Yeah, man, who died?
Who
Just
died?
covered
What
in
happened?
blood.
They're like, but he's poor. Like nobody cares.
I'll hand Ronaldo a rag to.
Oh, I'm fairly cleaned up at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sean got
Make
you
sure.
cleaned up a bit.
Let's
Dunking my head in the ocean.
let's
Die,
head over to
motherfucker!
towards that alley back there, and I'll catch you up.
The seedy
And it's
back
like-
alley, hey?
The seedy back alley where not a lot of people like to go.
Let me grab my sweet potato and meet you over there.
Jesus.
Yeah. Let everyone know it's like, yeah, Aoife ended up pushing lost his name, Brent off the
Such a name.
off
Aoife
the
pushed him off the rail?
he was gonna break my hands. He caught me in his office. But she pushed him to kind of give me a way to run, but I knew that if I pushed him over the edge.
That was you. He looked bad.
He's like, I made it look real good though.
He looked bad. Nice, Riley.
It was him or the girl.
You made the right choice.
I hope so, because hopefully he survives. I know he looked bad. Hopefully Rosalie can keep him stable.
Rosalie's heading to the Rose house with him. I don't know if stable is her goal.
Well, Etho thinks that if he doesn't live, we don't get where the skins are, no one's going to be able to find them again, and they'll just be stuck here. So, hopefully stable until information is received.
I don't know how well I know Rosalie or how she would handle a situation like this.
But and
I feel like it's fair to say you have some doubts about the longevity of Sir Brent right now.
the another thing is, Riley just like his face contorts in confusion a little bit, and she's like, "But why the Rose House? Like, why would bring him there to a fairly well-known manor?"
I mean, what do you mean?
You guys like Ellis is gonna be pissed.
What do you
fuck?
mean? Because other people will know that we brought him to the Rose house?
I mean, yeah, like she didn't drive the carriage herself, did she?
No, there is a driver. But I think probably
She's
the
gonna
idea
kill the driver too, obviously.
I think probably the idea
says-
is that she's taking him to a place where she can freely interrogate him by some free means. I don't know if that's the word for it, but
Yeah, but like dragging a man with 2 broken legs into the Rose House.
we have Mr. What's his name? Mr. Hawkins can do some basic medical things, I think. He knows a lot of stuff.
I'm not saying that bringing him there but bringing him there at all seems an odd choice.
Where else would she have brought him, though? To the hospital?
I don't know, but
the Rose House at least is a somewhat secure place, and we know the people there, and we trust the people there. So if something happens, we'll at least have some backup. Or at least Rosalie will. I'm not saying we'll do anything.
Yeah, but I just have concerns is all.
What are you worried about though, Riley?
I mean, let's all be quite obvious here. Like, he's not going to make it by either his own wounds or the ones going to that are going to be inflicted upon him.
We all have such a bad opinion.
God,
Where are we? Where are we? Are we all still in the alley right now?
We are.
I assume,
I imagine you're heading back probably en route to Rosalie's apartment because that's where you're supposed to meet the kids.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
But what are you afraid of if he dies at the Rose House?
That, I mean, he was a businessman who was doing business with plenty of people.
Yes.
And his disappearance is going to be noticed.
I mean, he had an accident. They brought him somewhere for medical care.
That wasn't a medical facility.
that was a
This
house.
is also, but Ken, like, I'm just like meta-ing this. This is also like the 1800s. Like,
yeah.
like there wasn't like
there were still
there
hospitals.
were hospitals. You're right. But like also like a lot of people, I'm not. Never mind. You're right. You're perfectly fine in your line of thinking.
Yes.
But like a lot of people would like break their legs and they like drag them to their house or whatever, and like then get a doctor to come there. So
with a jar of leeches.
right, they're like, oh, clearly this man needs to be bled because he hasn't bled enough.
Yeah.
There's some validity to the fact he was not dragged to his house or his
Correct.
doctor. He was dragged to a
Yes.
stranger's
Yeah.
house with a
Yeah.
stranger's
Yes,
doctor.
yes, yes. I get it. I mean, I think that there is concern, and I think that if there is more things to connect us to this, then it will be of greater concern. But at least as of right now, it would be easy enough for Rosalie to kind of play off that she believes in her own private doctor to be like the best help, and she was seeking the best attention for him that she thought.
Yes, I understand that and I get that.
Yeah.
But the whole point is like someone could definitely go around and be like, "Hey, is there a doctor at this Rose house?" And people could be like, "No."
But who
Because
would-
there's no doctor on staff there.
Yeah, but no one would know that except for like us, except for the people who live there. You know what I mean? No one else goes to the Rhodes house. It is of concern, but it is a bit too late now, right? They are
Yes,
headed there.
it is a bit
so-
too late.
How close are we to the to Rosalie's
Apartment.
studio or apartment or both?
It's probably like a 20-minute walk, maybe.
Okay. I think Ronaldo kind of stays quiet for the duration of the walk. I mean, unless somebody addresses him directly. And then I guess as we get close to the apartment, Ronaldo will kind of look at Nora and be like, if you go ahead inside, I'm gonna stay behind. I just want to have a quick word with him. And I kind of gesture over.
Okay. Don't be too
Ooh.
long.
Man words happening between men.
Oh, geez.
Does that mean June gets to come with me? No, I'm just kidding. All
I
right.
kind of stop
too
outside
long.
of the apartment, kind of look around, and everything's kind of quiet. And I just look up at you and I say, sometimes we don't have the luxury of time. Decisions must be made and time is of the essence. We can look back on whether or not we did good or bad, but really it's all a moot point, because the person you are now is not the person that you were in that most precarious moment. And when he says that, Ronaldo it almost looks like he's looking through you, past you at another time in another place. He takes kind of a pause, and his voice just trembles ever so slightly. And then he looks back at you and he says, try not to let your decision weigh too heavily on you. There are plenty of other things out there that are going to keep you up during the cold, dark nights. And he kind of offers you a smile and puts his hand on your shoulder. And then he turns to walk inside.
Nora, there's a whole pack of little street urchins in the hallway outside of Rosalie's door.
Oh. Oh, hello. How many are a whole pack?
There's like 7 of them.
Okay. All right. Well, we should get inside. Is the door?
Aoife comes up to you. She's like, right, these are the human kids. They can see us when we let them. And that,
You can control it. Hi.
and then she like walks over to a little girl who's like sitting against the wall, just kind of leaning there. She has like a couple dirty shawls like around her shoulders.
Oh, that's
Younger
your
than
little
Aoife.
sister.
She's like, this is my sister Ola.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
She looks up at you with like her big dark eyes. That's one of the most striking things about the kids is how like large and dark their eyes are. And she says, hello. And there's a boy next to her, looks a little older than Aoife. He has those same dark eyes that's ever so slightly different than the other children's eyes. He says, Rory.
Rory,
Aoife told me about you.
Aoife told me about you too. I'm glad you guys made it out.
Never thought I'd meet a nice human. Thumbs up was for Riley's question.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Nora
Never
just
thought I'd meet a
pauses
nice human.
awkwardly. Yes.
The
All right. Well,
the other kids are all orphans. They don't got no family or anything, just each other. Maybe they can stay here for a while.
probably not here, but we will find some place kind of
Like here for a few days, right? They got some food. They got some biscuits. They're pretty good. She says to the kids, and they're like, "Oh."
we've got biscuits. There might be another place that we could probably house you a little bigger.
Keep them
and
at the whorehouse.
That might work too.
Actually, those women would probably defend these children with their lives.
Yes.
They'd probably be the safest there, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I was gonna say
But
That's
actually
fair.
a pretty
That's
good point.
fair.
After Ronaldo walks in, Riley will follow him and close the door.
And you
And
see Nora nervously talking to this pack of urchins.
I'll say it's like Rosalie would probably be all right if they stay here for tonight at least.
Yeah, I'm sure she would be fine. I just don't know if the kids would be. I mean, I guess they're.
By the way, there's all sorts of artwork of like questionable nature for children to be seeing, like just on full
Aoife's
display.
face
This is
brightens
the
a little.
1800s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fine.
Aoife's face brightens a little when you walk in, Riley, and she's like, "Oh, this is Riley. He's the one who threw Brent over the ledge." And they're
Oh.
like,
Boy.
"Was he heavy?"
A bunch of little murder kids. Yay!
You're the
Wish
hero.
I could have heard the sound.
They start chanting in unison about murder and bloodshed.
Yeah, he's real strong.
No, Riley's real strong.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
like, you got the key, or do you need me to give me the lock?"
Oh, if you can do that, that would be great.
I'm sure it's not even hard.
I was gonna
She
say,
pulls like a little bobby
Yeah.
pin out of her
I know.
like tangled
Yeah.
hair, and she just walks over. She's like,
Honestly, it's more like just like reach your hand through a crack and like flip
Yeah.
the lock.
It probably is. Like, honestly, it's that bad.
Yeah.
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 She'll probably
She
be
has it
moving
open in,
soon
like,
anyway.
couple clicks of the wrist. She gets
Yep.
the lock open. She's like, "All right, come on in, guys. There's like blankets and pillows and stuff, and there's some biscuits. We can get the biscuits and maybe some tea."
Yeah, we can do tea. Can Ola can she walk? Should we carry her?
Rory's helping her. He helps her get up. She can walk. She's just kind of like leaning on him. Her legs are very wobbly.
Aw. We should still carry her. Aw. Lift her up and carry her inside. I'm a big girl.
Oh, you go and you give her a little up, and she puts her thin little arms like around your neck.
Aw.
She's light. She's much lighter than she should be, even for a child so young.
Aw. I'll bring her to Rosalie's bed.
None of these things, although Rosalie doesn't know them, none of these things are helping Christian in deciding what Brent's initial
All of these
fate-
details do not bode well for Brent.
No, they do not. Oh,
Yeah.
I will not metagame, but
Yes.
They
Yeah.
just gonna when we get in, just like me and Ronaldo are just gonna go around just like flipping paintings of satyrs with giant erections.
No, you should leave those out. They're educational.
I don't know how educational a satyr with a giant erection is.
They've seen
It's too
so
late.
much
The
worse.
children have their eyes just have taken in every detail, core memory.
These are street urchin kids, okay? They've seen so much worse. They've
You're probably
experienced
right.
so much worse.
yeah.
This
Maybe
girl
the
Was
maybe
hiding in a bar picking
I get that
pockets,
bit.
like, okay?
It's because it ain't human.
yeah.
And they're everywhere. They're going over stuff. They're looking on new things. They're going through cabinets. They're already eating stuff. You know, they're
Perfect.
just already
Great.
just num.
Eating pastel crayons. You're gonna be a soldier.
Marine.
Paste.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
One of them's found
Sylvia's
Rosalie's
soldier.
stash of pocket biscuits, like eating rolls, pocket rolls.
Hot brownies.
Probably.
Yep, they're making themselves right at home. Aoife's gone back to Alla, and she's like in the bedroom with you, getting her like tucked in. She's like, "You want some water, Alla?"
Yeah, we'll make her some tea and stuff.
Aoife kind of combs back her sister's hair and kisses her forehead, and she's like, "Riley and Nora and the others, they're gonna get us home real soon. Mom will know how to fix you up." And she just kind of looks at her sister and nods.
Oh no, I drank all
She
my
goes,
coffee.
"Can Rory come with us too?" And Aoife's like,
BRB.
"Of course. I'm sure Mom will know how to find his mom, and he can stay with us until then." And she's like, "Okay, that sounds good."
So yeah, I know. So I
Mhm.
know she's a Selkie, but is there any way for me to tell like what she has if she just has like
If she's ill or just like malnourished,
she's like
probably
cold,
just like
if
a
she has like a
You
cold
can
medicine
make
check.
some kind of check. Yeah, let's see
medicine?
here.
I have medicine.
Yeah, you can make a medicine check.
Sure. Okay, great.
Some kind of check. I've been running it for weeks, and I'm like, and there's a check.
That's
That
So
sounds
that's like
appropriate.
I ran
You-
RuneQuest for a year and was like,
That's like the one downside to playing so many different RPGs
I was
and
gonna say,
systems. It's like
Amber
the wires
plays
just
and
get
runs.
crossed,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
the entanglements. No, that's Blades in the Dark. That's not what this is
One
called
we
in
should
this
just
game.
we you know what we should do one day is just play a game based upon all the things the rules that just come immediately to our
Whatever,
mind.
yeah,
Just
whatever
like a big
rule you can think of to
amalgamation.
resolve it
Yeah.
in whatever system. You're like, roll 3d6. Would you get 7? That's a mitigated success.
Pull a card from a deck. I don't know.
I only got 1 6.
All right. You kind of look her over a little bit. You're not pawing at her too much, being respectful. and all.
Yeah.
But her breathing's it's a little bit labored, but it doesn't really sound like there's anything like in her lungs, nothing like pneumonia like that. It more just seems like, and she's so young, it more just seems like a kind of failure to thrive. It reminds you a little bit of like a wild animal, like a young wild animal brought into captivity, a little bird that you find outside, and you're trying to feed it and stuff, but it's just not doing okay. It's just sickly, like she shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And she's younger than her sister, so she's adapted a little less to being stuck here without her parents caring for her in the ocean.
Gotcha. Just need to get her home. Okay. All right. Well, I'll make sure they're eating, fix them some tea.
You get them squared away pretty
Tending.
quickly.
Yes, tending.
Yeah, they're not shy about meeting their needs in this apartment right now. So they're in stuff. One of them's like pouring some water from a basin into like the tub right now, and they're just sort of like splashing. A couple kids are like splashing each other in the bathtub. Like, they're just going all over the place. They are actually very curious about the art. Like Riley has flipped over some paintings, but like he turns around, he like goes into another room to hide some more paintings. They've already got like paintings flipped over. They're like on the floor and they're looking at them. Like,
I'm just gonna check in quickly with Riley and Ronaldo on if they plan on staying here or if someone should head to the Rose house too. In case Rosalie needs backup. But Mr. Hawkins is there, so like
all in all,
like, Mr. Hawkins is an adult. He can handle this, right?
We probably should head to the Rose house.
Someone should probably stay with the unattended children.
I'm gonna say I can at least entertain the kids. I have magic tricks and music and stuff like that.
You can also
they've also been on their own.
Sarah's character can hang out with the kids too.
Oh, that's
Say
true.
Cecilia does. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
Cecilia
true.
can hang here with them during the day and then go on her
Read
her
them a
outing
good
with Ruby
story.
at night.
Yeah. Yeah, so like yeah,
we'll say Cecilia volunteers to stay and kind of look after the kids, make sure nothing goes sideways.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Then she gets to explain all the paintings.
And you know what? She fucking will.
She will, yeah.
All right, we should head to the Rose house then. make sure.
You find skin curtains.
I'm like, someone else needs to order the cab. I'm done with cabs today.
Excuse me, how do wheels work?
I mean,
Question I was asking.
all in all, we could probably because
Walk?
Rosalie didn't live too far from the Rose House, right?
She lives a good clip away. Rose House is in a kind of a nicer neighborhood, and Rosalie's
Okay.
kind of back toward the docks
Yeah.
and the slums.
Okay.
There's a little bit of distance there between the well-to-do middle class and the poors.
Yeah.
Undesirables.
Really
Doctor's
quickly though. Jeez. Really quickly though, Ronaldo, did you have anything you wanted to do here before we left for the Rose House? No.
Nope.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Right. You all head out. Easy enough to hail a cab. Between all of you, you've got enough pocket change to pay for the trip to Rose House. And we will head to Rose House now with the other crew en route. Rosalie, the driver, puts a good clip on it and weaves in and out of traffic at a couple busier roads and whatnot. Brent is unconscious in the back seat by now, completely out of it.
I think we did do what we did. Put tourniquets on him and things like that.
Yes, yep.
Yeah,
He's
so we
tourniqueted
did-
up. He is still bleeding on the seats as tourniquets, slow, but do not
Mhm.
completely stop. Severe bone jutting out leg trauma.
Yeah.
But he is still breathing. He doesn't look good. He's very sweaty. He is very, very pale and pasty looking. A lot of blood's getting on the seats and stuff. And you've got a little bit of knot in your stomach getting a little bit tighter and tighter as you go, where you're like, fuck, is this fucker gonna die?
Could still probably summon his ghost.
Yeah, perhaps you're going through and you're thinking like, I just brushed up that seance parlor.
But I'd rather do it while he's alive.
A little bit easier access. Don't have to make the collect call and pay international fees,
Exactly.
He is still alive when the driver pulls up to the gates of Rose House. He's like, do you need help getting him inside, or
If you don't mind waiting 1 second, and I'll just, Hawkins. Wait.
shit. All right. You kind of like call in, and after a moment on the first floor, has kind of like a carriage house pull through. Hawkins comes out of the garage, whatever the ye old version of the garage is that is like attached to the house. He comes up and he sees you and immediately notes the blood on your garb and your
dress.
hands.
Yes, and I'll walk up to him like, "Oh, Hawkins," and I'll just like whisper to him, I'm like, "It is society business. We need to get this man inside quickly."
Do you need an infirmary?
We do.
Let's bring him up to the second floor.
Right. And I'll
he
just
turns and heads back
yeah,
in the house.
and if you don't mind
quickly.
helping me get him up to the
He's like,
second
I'll
floor.
send Mrs. Morley home.
Yeah, and I'll tip the driver with whatever paltry change I have left, and perhaps a spare dirty drawing that I have, and ask him to help me get him up to the second floor.
Just give the
Driver
a
will
giant
take the
ceramic
change
dick.
and help you kind of drag the limp body of Brent Allwood out, and he sees his legs kind of clearly for the first time, and the driver's like, oh, fuck. Oh, he's going to die. I hope your doctor's real good.
Oh,
You got a
wonderful!
surgeon
Wonderful.
in there?
Yes, we do. We do, in fact.
He's like, oh, poor bugger. What happened?
He fell. Awful accident.
He's like, all right. Just
We think it's hay fever.
tell me where you want him. Get the door.
Second floor, and I'll help as much as Rosalie with a 2 physique can.
You're like lifts one of his
Yes,
feet and notices the sag in his shin that should not be there. The driver helps you, to his credit, drag this guy up the stairs. The legs are being jostled in a very unprofessional way, but he's a cab driver, not an orderly.
That's fine.
And the second floor, one of the doors is already open. It's to one of the guest rooms that you notice, and you can hear Hawkins moving things in and about inside. The cab driver kind of eases him on in there, and Hawkins just looks at him and says, "On the bed." He's like, right. And he drags him over. Hawkins says, kind of stripped one of the beds down. There's some sheeting over it, and the cab driver just sort of lugs him onto the bed. He looks a little green around the gills when he goes to he looks like he's about to lift his legs onto the bed now that the torso is, and then he just thinks better of it. And he's like, right, good luck with that.
I'll see you out. I'll see him out and let him wash up and thank him again and give him a little more money. I'm probably flat broke by now, but yeah.
You know what? Make a
We call that Ronaldo, bro.
Yeah.
We are gonna.
I have a dog and a stick.
Resources roll. No, manipulate?
Observation roll.
Oh, observation.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Empathy. That's empathy, right? Empathy
Yes,
and
yeah,
observation.
empathy. I do love
2
the idea.
successes.
I do love the idea of Rosalie having all of these little pocket drawings to just tip everyone with.
Yeah, just
just
here's a set of boobs.
Yes.
The cab driver is playing it fairly cool to his credit, but you can tell that he's got a look about him where he knows some shady shit is going down right now. He knows. He's this is a mob hit or something. He knows. You don't know if he's going to say anything. You get the feeling that he probably won't volunteer information, but if someone comes knocking, if they happen to ask him,
All right, I'm going to be I appreciate your service and particularly your discretion in this matter.
Right. Discretion. Yeah, that's what is
A very valuable thing to possess for one in your possession, a profession.
Make a manipulate check. Go ahead and play some flattery on, and also,
Show him your boobs, the ones in your pocket.
No successes. Shit.
You could push it.
I could also have how many? I don't know how many rerolls we have. I know we have a few floating around.
Let me check.
Because I pushed before. I'm already exhausted.
Probably have
substitute, Sarah.
We probably have at least 4.
Oh wait, could I have because you have a chance to remove conditions if you take a quick rest too, right?
Yeah, if you take a quick moment to interact with your memento and do a little
6.
scene with it, you can remove a condition.
Could I have done that in the cab?
Doc Boyd gave us a reroll, by the way.
Thank you, Doc.
Hell yeah, reroll. Yeah, if you want to do a quick little flashback to you and your memento and just walk us through what you're feeling in that moment, you can do so.
So as we were riding over, Rosalie had that pit in her stomach, and she's very cognizant of the fact that if this guy dies, he's probably the only one who knows where these skins are. And she, as much as she wants to kill him, she also needs him alive and conscious enough to talk to and get the information out of, at least long enough to get the information out. And she was terrified the whole time that this guy was just going to die. And she also had that kind of adrenaline dump because she just ran in and did something very quickly and almost on instinct. And then she had she had a come down yeah, she was kind of shaking and what the fuck am I doing? And she just, after she kind of whispered that no one knows you're here and you could die and no one would care to him, and said some stone cold shit to him just to put the fear in him, and he passed out. She had a moment where she was just kind of exactly what the fuck am I doing? And she reached into one of her many pockets, rummaged around her boob drawings, and she found a little tiny, very vertigrist statue of Pan that she carries with her all the time. And she just kind of didn't take it out of her pocket, but just held it for a while and just took some very deep breaths and just kind of tried to center and get into the frame of mind that she gets into mostly when she draws. She tries to kind of get into a very clear frame of mind and just draw almost in a trance state. But also increasingly, she finds she's able to do more and more different things in that trance state. So it's this trance state that kind of centers her, and she tries to get to that state by just interacting with her statue.
All right, you can go ahead and remove a condition.
Yes. Okay. So I'm not going to take one, though. I am going to use one of my rerolls, one of the 6 rerolls that we have. Thank you, Doc Boyd. And now I have 2 successes.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
All right. You know how to stand. You know how to move. You know the exact note to put into your voice to get a guy on your side wanting to look out for you, And he's like, right. Anytime you need a little more discretion from a cab driver, I'm Eric.
Wallace. Oh, okay.
Eric Wallace.
I'm Eric.
Thank
I work for
Wallace Cabs.
Yeah, I work
This-
for Wallace Cabs down on Numbers Street.
Wallace Street.
Down on Wallace Street. You're like, you're making all of this up. Eric works for Wallace Cabs on Wallace Street. Done.
Wallace works for Wallace Cabs on Wallace Street.
An excellent firm
Beautiful.
of fair repute. I've heard of them before. Thank you so much, Eric. I will bear that in
I've
mind.
heard
You
of them.
please have a good day. And here, just another. I mean, it's a little off color, but another something. And give him one of the
He
drawings.
holds it and he holds it up, like gives you a little nod, and he seems a lot more settled with this matter right now than he did before you started tipping and putting a little bit of honey into your voice.
It's the unknown that's always most
That said, he does get in
discomforting.
the
He knows
cab and
precisely
quickly
what's
depart.
going on.
I don't blame him. I will. The nice face drops right away, and she just turns and marches inside.
All right, you get on inside. You're actually just passing Mrs. Morley on the way out.
Covered in blood. It's always great to see these super rich aristocrat when you're just splattered in blood.
She's like, "You all right, darling?"
Oh, it's not mine, but yes, thank you.
He's like, "Right. There's some sandwiches on the sideboard. Egg and cress. If you would
Thank
have if you need a little nibble,
What do you know about Selkies?
Selkie. I don't know that I'm familiar, miss.
She's in. Oh no! Fuck.
She's
Never
not-
mind. No, I'm sorry. I confused her with like the rich lady who's like.
No, yes,
No,
she is
Miss
not.
Morley's just the maid. Yes. No. So I'll just say,
She's a
oh,
cook,
thank
I
you,
think.
thank you so much.
Yep.
I think I
She's
will.
the
I will get
normie.
cleaned up and enjoy them later. Thank you so much, Miss Morley. You have a wonderful rest of the day.
She gives you a little nod. I think I will. Perhaps me and my husband will go out for some lunch.
Oh, excellent. I know a good place, and I'll recommend the Velvet Glove. No, a
The
place
10 Bells
that
pub.
I know. Yeah, the 10 Bells. The 10 Bells. It's a little rowdy, but very good.
Good food.
Maybe it'll make us feel young again.
Watch
And
your
she-
pockets, though.
Speaking of young again, Ronaldo
Never carry-
face
Never
plants
carry
through
more
the
cash
front
than you're willing to
door.
lose.
True.
And she heads out. A little at the weirdness, but she's been the cook and the housekeeper for some time at Rose House, though she's not quite in on it. As
Great.
all of the help, she knows some things, and she's not letting it bother her none right now. She's gonna enjoy her early afternoon.
Right. Oh, it's not mine. What a line.
It's not
I'm so
mine.
proud.
She's
of
like, that's what most folks around here say. Turns out, like, huh.
I will
She's
go
like, I'm happy
upstairs.
to hear.
March right upstairs.
All right, you get to upstairs, and Ellis has got he's a mini fucking infirmary has like sprung up as if by magic almost. There's all kinds of tools and medical supplies, bandages, tinctures, salves, blades laid out on the like
Dr. Hawkins,
bedside table.
Yeah.
He's got Brent's clothes cut off.
The key here is that well, we don't want him to die, but we don't want to treat him too much yet.
I
He's not
would
your-
also prefer that he not die here in the Rose House, being assumedly human.
Well,
And
yes.
likely a citizen of London.
one of the worst of us, I'm afraid. He's enslaving some children and some some Selkies as well.
Ah,
And I want to have a chat with him about where those skins might be.
I have a lot of talents and a lot of skills. I am not a physician. I will do my best here, but his injuries are quite substantial. I don't know if he's going to come around. He's putting on
If you
like a
can-
better
yeah.
tourniquet.
If you can wake him up, that'll be good. I'm going to clean up a little bit.
Try to
If
get
you
the
don't
bleeding
mind.
under control and try some smelling salts.
Thank you. I'll just wash up a tad and I'll be right back. Would you care for something to drink while I'm gone?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
A Bloody Mary, please.
Ellis is a little bit flustered. He's like, man, you brought a guy who's about to die in my house. But he is handling it as best he can. All right. You have a few moments to collect yourself in the restroom. Take your bloodied gloves off, whatever you are doing here.
I want my gloves off, actually, because I want him to see my hands that still look a little bit frostbitten. So yes, I definitely take my gloves off, and
Take your hands
wash
off.
up.
Jeez.
Take my hands off.
Take
put
your
my
hands
other
off,
hands
you
on.
slap them with one of the hands.
Yes. You have chosen death. Yeah, I take my gloves off, so like my hands still, they've healed up, but they still definitely have that look of a little bit of damage on them. But yeah, I'll wash up a little bit and clean my one good dress off. Oh, last good dress.
When you return to the room, Ellis is wrapping the legs up. He says, I'm not going to bother setting the bones. I take it that his mobility is not a priority. Just going to try to slow his inevitable exsanguination.
I'll just sit and watch. So hopefully he wakes up and just sees me watching him being worked on. If he wakes up.
Where are the others?
That's a question for you, Rosalie.
Yeah. Ellis is like, where are the others? As he's
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking
this
to them.
guy's legs over,
Yeah, that
like,
wasn't
the broken
Amber.
bones and stuff.
I suspect they'll be along shortly.
Right. Did this happen in public?
Well, semi-public, but nobody knows that he's here.
Aside from the cab driver.
Oh, I took care of him. Don't worry.
He's like, right.
Dead cab driver in the lobby.
No
Just
witnesses.
killing everyone.
No
I don't mean
witness.
to doubt you. I just we're a little bit light on members of the society at the moment to run sort of interference for complications. So
I completely understand.
Lightly.
But he is a man of, although he's a man of some success down in the docks, he does not appear to have many people who like him very much.
It's fine. We have Ronaldo. He's homeless. We can blame it on him.
We're not. We would never.
It's like, well, not having a persistent family can certainly be a benefit. Should I prepare the carriage in case we need to leave expeditiously with
I think
our
you
guest?
should, in case we need to get him to some proper facilities. If he cooperates, that is.
Funeral
All right.
home.
Those are smelling salts over there whenever you are ready. He's lost a lot of blood. I'm not sure how lucid he will be, but it's worth a shot.
Thank you, Hawkins. You've been very helpful. I'm sorry to put you in this position. I'm sure you weren't expecting this today, but then again, neither was I.
I've dealt with a great many situations over the years.
I believe that.
Work quickly. Yes.
I will. All right, so I'll take the smelling
Then he
salts
departs.
once he leaves, and I'll just whiff them under his nose.
Stick them right in.
Just right up there.
He comes to kind of really quickly, and then he kind of immediately panics. It's like awake, and then he's just like
And in pain.
I'll just shush him and just kind of like,
he shushes to less of a scream and more of a loud whimpering and complaint, and he looks down at his body and just sees like the wrapped legs with the blood just coming through, and he's freaking out.
I would waste my strength if I were you. I don't know how much you have, and we don't have much time, darling.
I'm gonna have you make a manipulation check.
Whoops.
One success. You manage to command his attention. You can tell it is divided, though. He is in a lot of pain right now, and panic is still very present in his mind, but he is looking at you, and he's at least hearing, if not understanding, some of what you are saying.
So I'm going to make sure I'll lean closer to him, and I'll just kind of put my fingers up, but I want to make sure he sees like a little bit of damage on my fingers and just a little bit of the fucked up in this that is Rosalie. And he says, you really need to listen closely to me because, as I said in the cab, I'm the only one who knows where you are.
It's like, I need a hospital. You need to
I
get me
know
to a
you do.
hospital.
Well, you see, there's one problem there, Derek. It's come to our attention that you enjoy...
Derek.
What? It's not Derek. What
No,
is
I
it?
thought you were doing that
You don't even know his
intentionally.
fucking name.
I thought you were doing that intentionally. You called him Derek twice.
It's Brett.
Brent.
Yes.
Oh, fuck. I've been calling him
Like
Brett.
he's like, my name's Brent, and you're like,
No.
whatever you say, Derek.
No,
thought it
I'm
was
sorry.
intentional.
I thought
Sure
it
it is.
wasn't. I just forgot his name. It's Brent. You see, Brent, it's come to our attention that, well, you enjoy buying and selling people.
He's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, lady. I need to go to a hospital.
The mudlarks, the selkies, the ones you bought from the Irish shipping boys. Oh, wait, I wouldn't know that. I don't know that. I'm sorry. I'll rewind that part. The mudlarks and the special children you bought, the ones with the skins.
Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. And then he
I'm
goes,
not crazy.
help! Help! And he starts yelling for help.
I'll just let him yell for a bit.
Oh, actually,
wasting-
Yes, that's fucking good, dude.
you might know that because Riley had informed us about the books in the alley.
He did.
You
Or-
probably did put two and two
Yes.
together.
Right, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so because we know about the shipping
I'll
routes.
let him scream for a bit, and I'll just kind of sit and watch him.
I fucking love that.
Tick tock.
Your cab
tick,
is pulling up
tock.
to the Rose house.
And I'll just say that too. Tick tock, tick tock. You don't have much time, friend.
Oh boy.
He's like, where the fuck are we?
Where are the skins?
The fuck are you talking about, you mad lady?
The skins of the children that you bought from the Irish fishermen.
Hang on there. Ooh. You can tell that he knows what you're talking about. And
does.
he's in a lot of pain. Right now you can tell his adrenaline is kicking right now, and he's probably not sure at how close to death he is. So he's weighing a couple options in his panic brain right now. Other crew. As you approach the Rose house, you hear faint
Screaming.
screams of help coming from inside. The good news is you can't really hear it until you enter the courtyard, so it's not really, you can't really hear it from the street, but you're like, oh. As
If
you
we
approach.
do hear it, Amber, just for canon here, for effect, if we could hear it as we're pulling up, I just very quickly, without any hesitation, look at you guys and look at the cab driver and go, oh, the missus is off a rocker again. I just make my way inside.
You know, the cabbie does not seem to think anything of that. He's like, seems fair
Dementia.
enough.
He's like, we get it.
Hysteria, women, am I right? Like, there's no way.
Old people, etc.
Oh boy.
Ronaldo runs into the house, leaves you guys.
Yeah.
Y'all are just getting inside, and I'll let you know when you kind of walk in here in just a moment.
I probably won't be coming inside. I don't think I'm ready for this.
Staying outside in the courtyard,
Inside,
or,
but
like, on
not
the street.
inside
Okay, like
the
in the
Rose house, but not into the room.
parlor, sitting room, downstairs, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Good. Brent looks at you for a moment, and his expression changes, and you can tell that his dumb panic animal mind is changing gears here. And he says, listen, you uppity little tart. You don't know who I am. If anything
Someone
happens
who wants
to
to
me,
die here, apparently.
you after money? You want money?
I'll take
Get
some,
me
but I
to a
want the
hospital.
skins. I want the skins of the children. And while you're at it, you can throw in 500 pounds too.
Fuck. He says, I have friends in low places who will make a real mess of you.
And I
Speaking
have
of,
friends
Ronaldo
in other
walks in.
places, she says. And as she says that, the room just gets cold. Like ice forms around him and like crackles. Like if there's like a glass of water that was sitting there, it actually freezes. And the frostbittenness on her fingers just turn black, and her eyes start to glow that pale blue. And a pale wind actually blows through because I'm using my Strike Fear ability on him.
I was gonna say, you using
Yeah,
it?
I'm using it.
Hells yeah.
I'm using my Strike Fear ability on him. I'm like, and I have friends in other places, Brent.
Nice.
He goes
Places you don't
quiet,
want to
and
go.
he like visibly shrinks into the mattress. Like he was kind of puffing up a little bit, and he just lays back into the pillow, and he looks just small suddenly.
So give me what I want, and then we will get you to a hospital. or die here, because it makes no difference to me.
Those of you going up the stairs, you are standing in the doorway right now for this moment.
Riley, did you come upstairs too or no?
No, Riley would
You're
stay
staying-
downstairs as well.
Okay.
You're staying with
So
me.
it's just me, and I
Ronaldo.
ran into the house and up the stairs. So
You kind of reach the doorway
June.
and your skin immediately like goosebumps, like to the hairs stand on end and the chill kind of rushes over your skin. June at your side makes a little soft little growl that turns into a just pitched whine at the end. As you look into the room at Rosalie, and she has not changed and yet changed as you look at her.
what view of her do I have? Am I facing her back? Is she facing
She's
me when I walk
profile
in?
to you. So Brent is like
Profile.
facing you. His bed, the headboard of the bed is against the wall directly across from you, and Rosalie is like standing over him.
I guess for just a brief moment it does break my attention when June whines, and I'll just look down at her and I'll like pet her head and reassure her that it's okay. And then I'll just kind of motion for her to stay by the door. And I'll take a few steps into the room, and in a very quiet and calm voice, I'll call out to Rosalie and I'll say, Rosalie, you don't have to do this. If you do, we're no better than he is.
She says, and her voice is hers, but it's not hers at the same time. She goes, he deserves it. And she doesn't take her eyes off of him.
He is white as the sheets that he's on right now, whiter than blood loss. And his voice is so quiet, Ronaldo probably can't even hear it from where he is just a few steps away. And he says in the smallest, hoarsest voice, at the bank, London Joint Stock Bank.
She thaws a
The
little
keys
bit.
in my house.
She thaws just a little bit. And where is your house? And how do we find
Somebody give me a British sounding street name.
Wallace.
Wellington?
Wellington. At the corner of Beef in Wellington.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful.
The corner of Beef in
Beautiful.
Wellington. Fuck, I love it.
It's good. He's like, it's good. It's good. Topiary in the front yard.
And this key, we just go in and present it to the banker.
It's a box 116.
116. Very good, Brent. You've done a good job. And she reaches out and touches his face, and her hands like are warm now, as warm as they get. And she goes, you've done a good job. Now, I don't want to hear about you doing this again, because I will be back if I do. You understand that?
He just kind of nods, and your fingers leave. When you pull your fingers away, there's like little red marks from like the bite of coals left on his face skin for a moment.
I'll, which pocket? I wouldn't want to hurt you.
Pocket.
The key, you said it was in one of your pockets to your house.
It's at his house. It's at his
Oh, okay.
house at the corner of
Okay,
Beef and
Wellington. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Jess, it's at the
Corner
All
of
right.
Beef in Wellington.
Ronaldo, will you fetch Hawkins, please?
I look at you and I say, you can get him yourself. And I walk over to Brent.
I will leave and get Hawkins.
He starts like hyperventilating as soon as she walks out. Like his deep breath, sharp breath, sharp breath,
I would
sharp breath.
just to rewind a second. Rosalie kind of gave you that look, and she was like wild for a minute, and then when she met your eyes, she changed back to the Rosalie she know, and she's like, right, oh, okay. And she just kind of left.
And that
She
was
kinda got
also
swept.
very uncharacteristic of Ronaldo, by the way.
Hmm.
Ronaldo's an extremely non-confrontational person, and he was very much standing his ground there, and it was very uncharacteristic of him too.
No, Rosalie lost herself a little bit there in her power. So yeah, but I'll go grab Hawkins and just inform him that he's ready to be transported to the nearest hospital.
Ronaldo, you walk
Post-haste.
over to Brent.
Yes. I will lean down beside him
he reaches for you immediately. Like he grabs for your hand and he
I'll grab his
holds
hand.
your arm really tight. And he
I'll grab
says,
his hand.
"Devil's in her.
I look at him.
A good man. Not a good man. These demons have taken everything from me. Just thought they should give something back. I know I'm a bad man. Do you know a priest?
look at him.
They're a priest.
I look at him and I say, Brent, there's demons in all of us. But it's not about that. It's about what we do in spite of that. And I hold his hand a little closer and I say, I am no priest, but I know of the prayers.
Will you pray with me? He looks really bad. The adrenaline was sort of kicking in there for a few minutes. The adrenaline is coming down now. He's not going to be conscious much longer, possibly not living.
I will. And I kind of close my eyes before him and I hold on to his hand. And I with my other hand, I hold on to that butterfly necklace around my neck. And I start reciting whatever sort of Catholic prayers I would have had drilled into my brain for my entire formative
Hail
years
Mary and
growing
Our
up with
Father.
nuns.
You've probably heard a few
Yeah.
final rites given.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I literally lived with nuns for 20 fucking years.
Oh
So,
yeah, you know, yeah.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Thy rod and thy staff that comfort me.
And I think I'll start saying it. I'll say it once in English and then I'll say it again in whatever language I learned it in.
Italian, probably.
Latin.
Yeah.
Latin. They
Oh,
would have done
Latin.
Or Latin.
Latin
Yeah,
mass.
probably
They would have
Latin.
done Latin mass. Yeah.
You're kind of
My eyes are closed the whole
two
time.
stanzas, shall we say, into the final rites when Hawkins kind of says from the doorway, in a respectful tone, but loud enough to be heard over the prayers. Mr. Ronaldo, we've got a carriage ready if you'd don't mean to interrupt, but if you want a chance to make those prayers a little unnecessary, we best be loading him.
I kind of I open my eyes when he says that and I continue speaking.
Brent is mostly out of it at this point. He's kind of like his lips are moving a little bit, but he's like not really mouthing the prayers anymore. They're just sort of
I'll continue saying the prayers and I'll pick him up in my arms and I'll start walking him down towards the carriage because I'm fucking strong and old.
Hawkins goes and gets all the
strange.
doors in the way, gets the carriage open. And he says, pardon, he pops his head in the parlor there. We're going to take a moment and pivot to Riley and Eleanor. What were you speaking of while this was going on in the parlor?
Enter muted.
I don't know if Riley was.
If you were speaking at all, could just be awkward, heavy silence.
I think at this point, Riley is a little concerned with the actions he had taken, although he does believe that they were warranted at the warehouse. I think he is getting into what is her name? Lorelai?
Lorelai, yep. Lorelai Winchester, one of your fellow investigators here at the Society. She's away right now, but she does stay here at the Rose House.
Yes. He's getting into the whiskey.
Aha! He's found Lorelai's good stuff. Some
Yes.
American
Hell
whiskey.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll drink to
the
that.
Kentucky bourbon.
There you go. You're having a little glass of that
Kentucky
there.
was a thing at this point.
Eleanor?
I'm actually going to ask Riley, have you ever killed anyone before, Riley? A human? A man?
He just kind of looks into his glass and shakes his head. No, he hopefully
Hopefully this won't be your
no.
first. Or any, I guess. Why didn't you go up there? Why'd you stay down here with me?
Probably the same reason you stayed down here. Can't quite face the realities of what was in that room. Or what is in that room.
Shit, I forgot you knew about me. You were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not gonna ask you if you've ever killed
Did I
him.
miss something, by the way?
For what?
I didn't get that reference, whatever O'Reilly was alluding to. Is that okay? I don't know.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. So,
Perfect.
some of her
Okay.
backstory
All right.
is-
I'm just because I was gone for a couple episodes, so I was just
Gotcha.
making sure I
That's
didn't
fair.
actually miss something.
You did
Okay,
not.
Thank you.
You did not. Yeah, and the rest of that is just heavy silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silence and clinking
Rosalie
of
goes
glasses.
downstairs.
For the second time tonight.
Hawkins pokes his head into the parlor and he says, urgent time, sorry to interrupt. I'm going to need one of you to drive the cab to the hospital.
Me?
As good as any, Miss
I know
Eleanor.
how these work.
It's a good thing you had that conversation about how cabs work. The cab driver.
Can that be my
Real
+2
Yep,
for?
it's all coming together.
Can that be my +2 special check
You know,
training?
I
Yeah,
will fucking
right.
give
The
it to you.
thing
You
she
guys didn't get a
said.
chance to do that. I will give it to you.
Dude, that's
Why the
fucking
fuck not?
awesome.
He like heckled you a bit too, but he did like show you the reins and stuff. So, and he's like, as good as any, Miss Eleanor. Quickly.
Are you coming with us, Riley? Are you okay here?
I'll
You
be
should come
okay
with us.
here.
You should
I'll
come
be
with
okay.
us.
Is behind Hawkins, looking even more disheveled than she usually does. And she goes, if it's all the same, Riley, I wouldn't mind if you escorted me. Somewhere.
He'll put down the glass and
Is there any left in it?
I can do the bottle, yes, the glass, no.
Rosalie takes the bottle and just takes a slug.
Lefroy. Ooh.
Beef in Wellington.
In Wellington.
Beef
Excellent.
in Wellington.
Good, take the
Meanwhile,
investigator.
Ellis walks you, Eleanor, down the steps toward the waiting cab. Horses are hitched. Cab is
Yep.
ready to rock. Don't know if you've ever driven a cab before, Eleanor.
Nope.
Fantastic. Ronaldo, are
could.
you going to the
Nope.
hospital with you have loaded Brent into the cab.
Yes.
There is room for you to join either in the back with him or on the driver's seat next to Eleanor.
Yeah.
Your choice.
Yeah, I'll be in the back with him.
All right. Ellis walks you quickly to the cab and he says, when you get to the London hospital, ask for Dr. Bancroft. It's very important. Tell him it's society business.
Thank
Got
you.
it. Bancroft. Got it.
Ban
And
or
then Ellis hands you
bent?
a handful of notes. And he's like, keep the hounds off our doorstep, Miss Eleanor.
I think June is in the back with me for sure. I don't go anywhere without June. So
All right. She's like laying on the floor of the cab in the back.
it's probably pretty cramped back there with two of us and June.
Yep, it is pretty cramped, but June isn't complaining and neither is Brent. All right, Eleanor, Godspeed. I'm not gonna make you make a check for this.
Yeah.
We got I got a good episode.
We're gonna let the little the little kind of
Failed
insult
tutelage.
comedy introduction that you received from the other cabby be sufficient for this. Ronaldo is also probably good with horses. I'm sure he's worked in stables and stuff before, so he can give you some little pointers from the back here and there. Between all of you, you swervingly make your way toward the London hospital. Rosalie and Riley. Ellis walks back in. He's taking off his bloodied gloves. Looks at the two of you and he's like, I'm going to get the upstairs cleaned up. Hopefully our recent guest does not meet an untimely end. It will certainly be easier for us, but if he does, it's best everybody have some sort of alibi that matches.
Amber, I've got a name for this episode. It also describes the cab right now perfectly. It's lupine, supine, and not doing too fine. Yeah.
In the back of the cab, shit.
There you go. Note for Rainy.
Well, let's hope he makes it. Thank you, Hawkins.
Yes.
I'm sorry to bring this to your doorstep, but we did what we had to do in the moment.
He gives an odd and he says, I understand there are children involved.
Speaking of which, there are about a little over half a dozen regular orphans now free from the care of the docks.
Right.
We led them to your apartment for now, and
Okay.
Cecilia.
Yeah.
Was like on the tip of my tongue, and I was like, I don't want to get it wrong. Cecilia is explaining your portraits to them.
Oh, perfect. Oh, wait. Well, we probably better hurry then.
Rosalie, fuck, I gotta get back there soon.
I tried to
draw dicks on it and ruin it. There are already dicks there. So
I know. we tried to
She's like, oh no, I have to get back
Censor.
there before they find the hardwood forest.
we tried to censor some of the drawings, but
Oh,
next
children
they
will be
knew-
children.
Yep.
Well,
Well,
Yeah.
but to Mr. Hawkins now, it's like, does the society know of any orphanages?
The Rose House is poorly outfitted for the care of children long term, but we do have several members who have come from orphanages themselves. I'll check in with them, see if they can make any recommendations. In the meantime, I will send word to the Countess. Perhaps she can arrange for some temporary accommodations while longer term ones get worked out.
also kindly volunteered some funds for their care, so we can at least have that.
Right. How generous.
Extremely so.
We
But we need to see to that right now, Riley.
Actually, if he survives, it might be something worth mentioning in the paper about his altruism.
Well, I assume you got him to tell you where the
They're in the bank. There's a box, and the key is in his house, and his house is on the corner of Beef and Wellington. Seems a rather silly neighborhood, but there's a topiary out front. That's how we'll know the house. Perhaps some sort of beef
two
dish
bushes
topiary.
around a post. Yes.
The topiary is just a cow.
Or 14 bulls and one cow. It's his ancestor. It's his coat of arms. 13 bulls, one cow.
Please. No one this trash could ever be related to this guy.
as I do not know where any street in London is.
I think Rosalie probably knows where Beef in Wellington is.
You can find it, yeah.
All right.
We will. I will follow your lead to his house.
Yeah, we'll head on down to Beef in Wellington.
All right. Y'all make your way to Beef in Wellington. It's actually not super, super far from Rose House. It's in a different neighborhood, but it's in the same sort of like middle class-ish
area. Yep.
middle class-ish area. It is not too late in the day right now, so people are still out and about doing strolls. There are cabs going by. It's daylight. And people are around. Nobody's paying much attention to you now that you've cleaned up. And Riley doesn't look quite like a hobo, perhaps a little poorer than the folks of this neighborhood, but doesn't necessarily stand out like Ronaldo would.
I'm gonna look for like a box. Like if like within as we walk in the alleys, I can see if they can find like a nice big wooden box, like a something that some trash has been thrown out in, perhaps that we can take and act like we're delivering something. So we're a bit innocuous in this neighborhood.
You know what? Just roll a d6 and tell me what you get.
A 1. Hey.
A 1. Best you find is like a bag of like lawn clippings.
I'll take it and I will well, yes, we're delivering these herbs, aren't we, Riley?
Oh, okay.
You're right.
Lawn clippings. You're like, yes, herbs.
I don't
Very
think London has lawns. Do they have
aromatic.
lawns?
I mean, it's not
do.
necessarily grass. It's like like weeds and stuff. It's just like it's
Gotcha.
landscaping clippings.
Gotcha.
generally.
Actually, this is silly. Let's just go. I'll throw them and we'll walk up. We'll go to the house.
Just litter.
Yeah. We'll just go to the house and look around to see if we can get in. Hopefully he doesn't have a servant.
I will take an investigation check.
That I can do.
Yeah, I'll put 2, but I'm not that great at it. So I'll probably need you to do this one, Riley. I got 1 success.
Yeah, that plus
The dice are always kind to Rosalie when it comes to torture and skullduggery.
Cool. Bunch of 2s.
Bunch of 2s, fantastic. You've got the 1 success. Bunch of 2s. You don't
Riley's
rush
a bit
yourself.
distracted.
So you
Still.
kind of walk around the house a little bit, peek here and there, keeping an eye over your shoulder to see if any neighbors are getting nosy. You do notice there is someone inside the house. You catch some movement like between a couple of the like curtains sort of thing of someone like going back and forth through the like a whatever that first floor room is, probably a parlor.
You know, you could recruit a young invisible Selkie.
You know, Riley, that occurs to me we might not be able to do this on our own. I think we have to go back to my place. Thank you, Jess.
Rally up the army of silky delinquents.
I'm going to. Ooh, he didn't tell me where the key was, did he?
Said it was in his house.
No, he just said it in his house.
Yeah.
I
Like in a normal place that you would put a key, like under a turtle or like under your
His
bed.
desk. I was assuming his desk somewhere.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I think right now time may be of the essence. I don't think we can afford the trip back down.
So then we need to tell a very, very good lie. Fortunately, I'm pretty good at that. But let's need to come up with a good one.
No, I will. I was a little bit distracted, so I missed what Amber said after we rolled our investigations.
There's someone in the house. You catch movement on the first floor through like some of the curtains.
Gotcha. Missed that completely.
Because
I rolled a bunch of
Do you know
twos.
what the best lie is, Riley?
That he broke his legs and we're here to get something.
One is that. Oh, exactly. One is that's partially true. So I'll just bang on the door like hysterically. Right. I'll just bang on the door hysterically. Bum, 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 bum. What was the name of his favorite girl down at the place? Well, it was
Ruby.
Oh, yes.
Ruby. Thank you. I'll just bang on the door.
All right. Not more than a minute later, the door opens and there's kind of portly middle-aged woman wearing an apron. She answers the door.
Definitely a maid of some sort. Okay.
She's like, "Pardon, the master of the house is not in right now."
Thank you. No, I know. I'm Brett's friend Ruby, and oh my heavens, my stars child. He is so hurt, and he had a horrible accident. He fell and he broke his legs. He's got hospital right now. He told me I need to get here. There's a key for the bank I need to get so he needs to pay the doctor. I need to get the key like right now.
Go ahead and make a manipulation test.
I'm using a reroll because that was fucking brilliant, and I deserve a success of that.
Yeah, nice. You can always push.
Push it.
I'm gonna push because
You can always
Push it. Push
Like,
it.
fuck you, dice. I'll take
Riley,
it.
aid him. Hold on.
There's
aid
one.
him.
So
There's
you do
one.
have to take
There's
a mental condition.
Yeah, I'll take a mental condition of.
check the
You could
condition.
aid him, Riley.
I'll
You
take
just come
frightening
on
for that.
really strong and really frantic and really loud, and she's immediately like on the back foot here, like, oh my god, come in. Is he going to be okay? Is he?
I just don't. I got.
I'm not really sure, but the master keeps the keys perhaps in his office. It's the only room I don't really clean, but it's up the stairs. It's this way. And she kind of goes up the stairs.
Thank you, bless you. I'll be sure to let him know you were such a help in this time.
She's like, "Oh, dock accidents are the worst. Men are always getting hurt down there."
I know, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, which hospital is he at?" I just said the London hospital. I don't fucking know.
There is indeed a London hospital, which is, I'm pretty sure, is pretty close to this area. If my map of like 1800s London that I use to write Call of Cthulhu scenarios is like proper in my mind.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Christian?
Oh, it's just what?
You may be cutting out on your end, by the way, from
On
the
the Twitch
viewers.
end, yeah.
Oh no.
How am I now? I might have just been talking too fast, and it was like
It could have been that. Yeah.
I could have
or the
just been.
accent.
It could have just been clipping me out.
Girl,
Yeah.
frantic, just cutting out.
My
It doesn't
my
want frantic Southern girl.
doesn't like frantic Southern girl. So
Too bad she was awesome.
thank you. Oh no, the London hospital. He's at the London hospital.
Like, oh dear. Well, they have very good doctors, I'm sure.
They do. We have well, yes. I'm sure they're wonderful ones. I just, we need to move quickly right now. So if you could show me that place. What was your name, dear?
She's like, I'm Beatrice.
Beatrice. Thank you,
Only been
Beatrice.
working for a short time for Mr. Brent. Don't see him around much. Terrible thing.
It is indeed.
Right here. And she opens a door. It's not locked or anything. And it's an office. It's a little bit messy. There's a lot of stuff and things around here. A couple dishes laying out. A couple whiskey glasses.
Cool. Thank you. Well, look around, and we'll look around for a key, and I'll try to recruit her to help us. Actually, too.
Easy enough. It doesn't look like Brent was super concerned about being robbed. There's like it's right in one of the desk drawers. There's a key.
Wonderful.
Looks like a safe deposit box key.
Thank
Has
you.
the Bank of London
Perfect.
stamp on the handle
Beatrice,
and everything.
thank you so much, dear. You have done wonderful, wonderful things. Thank you.
And she's like, "Of course. Do come back with word if there's any change." And
I will certainly send word. But you take care. Do you live here or do you just work here?
no, I just come in the early afternoons to do a bit of cleaning and prepare some food for him later in the evening.
Perfect. Well, he'll no doubt be laid up for a while, so I will try to get word to you as soon as I know something. All right?
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Take care. He'll be in my prayers.
Thank you, dear. I'll let him know that. Won't rush out.
Just lets you go.
Pans over to Ronaldo praying in Latin. Blah, 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 blah.
Exactly what we're gonna do. Meanwhile, Janky Cab Ride is frantically going. Brent stays out the entire ride. His breathing does get very shallow. A couple times you like touch him to see if he is still alive, and he
I
is.
do have a point in medicine, by the way.
Oh, you know what? Go ahead and make a medicine check. See if you can do anything for him here with positioning
And I have 2 points in precision, so I fucking
pressure.
suck at it.
Fuck yeah.
But it's an important part of my backstory.
Once you roll 3
so.
6s and you just like slap the shit of life back into him, you're just like, oh, you're like, do not
The old
fucking start him,
precordial
rub.
thump when it was still standard operating procedure.
Just punch him in the heart really fucking hard.
That literally used to be a thing. It's called a precordial thump. It used to be a thing, and it actually can work. It's
Wow.
medically
No
it is
shit.
possible.
That's awesome.
You met Joel, Amber? Joel literally precordial thumped somebody back into being. They were actually dead, and he fucking precordial thumped
He was
them
like, you know what?
into-
Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Fuck death.
This is badass.
Percussive maintenance works on everything.
Percussive maintenance.
Okay. I got 3 dice here, boys. And I got 1 6 and a 1.
All right. He
Matter.
doesn't come around or anything like that. You do keep him alive, if ever so barely, all the way to the hospital. So you careen on up into the front of the hospital. June is like watching you and him like the whole time very quietly. There's something a little eerie about like her expression in her eyes and how steadily she's just watching y'all. It's almost like she's waiting.
He's
I
close.
think I'd like to maybe like a flashback in this moment. So obviously I'm not doing any like extensive medical training, but like maybe just positioning him in a spot where blood flow's getting to his heart, right? Keeping his legs slightly elevated.
Yeah.
But I still like to imagine that I'm physically holding this man like in my arms. And I know he's pretty large. But I would love like, I don't know, I just picture the image of me in the back of the cab holding this guy praying, and it cuts to like a place years ago where it was storming terribly and pouring rain and I was soaking wet, and there was a much smaller body that was in my hands as I was praying. And then just kind of pans back to that moment.
You can't help but think of the last time you helped someone as they died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, this man and that young girl, far cry from each other in almost every way. They were both alive, and they were
both human.
rapidly fading.
Yeah.
Eleanor, you fucking careen up in front of the hospital. Ronaldo, I'm sure you're already exiting the car, trying to gather up Brent the best you can. You can see a couple nurses through like the front doors from where you are. If you want to go
Help!
run
Nope,
ahead,
just
Eleanor, try to get some help.
Help!
Just start yelling help. A couple
There's
nurses,
a man dying in the back of my carriage.
They come over and they're like, "Oh my God, sir, are you okay?" They grab Ronaldo and bring him inside.
Two of the nurses
He's
come
so
running.
old.
Yeah, they look at his head. They're like, "Oh God, you really shouldn't be standing."
There was a terrible accident down at the docks.
A couple nurses come running down. They see Ronaldo kind of dragging this limp guy out. One of them yells for like a gurney or a stretcher, whatever they called it back then.
Yeah, I was
never
told
mind.
if Dr. Bencroft here.
Dr. Is Dr. Bancroft on today? One
That's-
of the
that's
nurses says,
his
I think I
doctor?
saw him this morning. I'll go check. Is that this man's physician?
Yes, that's his doctor. Please.
One of the nurses kind of runs inside like on a mission, and another one and an orderly comes out to help like load him onto ye old stretcher gurney. And they start rushing him inside, and they're like, "What happened?
Oh my gosh, I'm seeing.
Tell us
things.
everything that
Okay.
you know.
Oh, fuck, I don't
Quickly.
remember.
He's in a bad way."
Oh, there was a terrible accident down at the docks. He fell over a railing, and his legs got terribly crushed. He's quite
Someone on
delirious.
the docks do the bandaging here and the tourniquet. How long has it been on?
We need Dr. Branstad. Or whatever his name was.
I don't know. I don't know.
Sir, were you there at the time of the accident? Do you know how long the dressings have been on? The tourniquets.
He's
I was
been
there.
hit too.
I'll tell you as much as I know on the way to Dr. Insert name here.
Bancroft, yes, Mr.
Bancroft.
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 They wheel him down into a room and start doing ye old medical things. Not sure when they invented IVs, but maybe there's IVs.
I know they
Troy's like, nah, hard pass, no IVs.
Not in the 1800s, no.
Some
They
guy
did blood
did, well, it's like
transfusions, so I know
This
that
is like
because
late.
it's
this is
definitely
like
the
late
1800s,
1800s.
and it's sort of like it's not an exactly accurate timeline. It's okay for there to be like anachronisms within a couple decades of each other,
IVs.
depending. So
Do it up.
So instead of an IV, they just got some guy who punches him in the heart a few times. They just have a guy come over, just flying fist.
Slap some
Yeah.
leeches on his face.
But,
Okay.
they get
I'll-
whatever information that you'll give them kind of in the rush, wheel them into a room, kind of like stop you from entering the room. One of the nurses says like, I need luck finding Dr. Bancroft. And they're like, I'll go check the third floor. He's maybe in the break room. They're just like running around and stuff. In the meantime, like another person dressed, assumedly a doctor, comes running in and starts tending to him. They're cutting dressings off and stuff.
Oh God.
Just going
Oh,
on and they're
God.
like, wow.
Oh, God.
These legs are fucking wrecked. Like,
I think the last
they're
thing that I'm
working.
gonna say to Brent, and I'm sure he's probably unconscious right now, but I'll just kind of squeeze his hand and I'll lean down next to him and I'll kind of in a quiet voice, not a whisper, but a quiet voice, I'm gonna say, everything's going to be okay. And then I'll get up and leave the room.
All right. Are you folks jetting from the hospital, or are you going to wait in the waiting room?
I think Nora's kind of frozen there for a moment until someone needs to kind of kick her out. She's kind of just frozen there.
If you stand there for about 3 or 4 minutes, a nurse comes over eventually, and she's like, would you like to sit down, dear? Get a cup of tea? Is that your father in there?
No.
The sound of disgust.
No. And she's like, oh, didn't mean to assume. Just
I just picture just like she says just no disgustedly, just leaves the hospital.
but she sort of like hand on your back, like ushers you toward a more appropriate waiting area.
Is Mr. Bancroft here? Did they find him?
He is here. Yes. He's in a surgery right now, but he'll be down as soon as he has a moment to do so.
Oh no. Okay. He's the
What
only
what
one who
is
can
what
help.
is what is the gentleman's name in there?
Do I know his name? Probably. His name is Brent. Brent Allred.
Brent Allred. All right, I'll
He's-
make sure that. Oh,
He's a nobody, really.
He's a businessman down at the docks.
and she's like, yeah, we see a fair share of dock workers around here all the time. A lot of injuries. Everybody here's very practiced.
I was just gonna say Ronaldo was hit too. He was
They
there.
just walk by you like you're fucking invisible.
Wow, how is this person floating to the hospital bed?
Like, holy shit, he's levitating.
It's magic. Nora, I'm gonna walk up to you right now as you're talking with the nurse, and I'm gonna say, can you stay here and make sure that Dr. Benedict
Bancroft.
Cumberbatch gets to him, and then I'm gonna take off with June out of the hospital.
Where are you going?
I don't answer you and I leave
You've been left.
in a hurry.
This is the worst place for me to be.
Like, oh god. All right, you've as with all hospitals, ye old or modern, if you are staying until news gets to you about Brent's condition or a chance to talk to the doctor, you will be here for a while.
I will.
Spoken from
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, I will stay.
All right, Ronaldo, where are you headed?
Ronaldo is going to the Velvet Glove.
All right, you
Gotta blow off a
takes
little
you a
steam.
bit to get there, but you do get there.
I get there with June and I ask to speak with, was it Braylon or
Brona.
Brona? Sorry, Brona.
A couple of the girls recognize you when you walk in right away. They're like, "Oh, Ronaldo," and then they notice your head and they're like, "Oh my God, you're hurt. Do you need to sit down?"
I just I sit down at the wherever they'll sit me down and I say, just stiff drink will take care of it.
It's like, of course, we'll find Brona. They go off, and about 5 minutes later, Brona comes in. She's got 2 glasses with her and a bottle. He's like, "Hey, stranger, long time no see."
He says, "Yeah, it's been a while," and he kind of offers her a hollow smile. And
she sets the glasses down and pours you each a drink, and she sits next to you.
He looks at the drink for just a moment, and just a single tear falls from his eye, and he grabs the glass and he pushes it back.
Tough day.
He just shakes his head and pours himself another glass.
That's all right. You're in good company. We can just sit for a while.
He just looks at her and nods his head.
She just sort of leans back in her chair a bit and just sits quietly with you, sipping the drink.
And he just sits down next to June with the bottle.
All right. You share the silence together, but it's not alone. Meanwhile, at the London Joint Stock Bank, you and Riley arrive. Absolutely, en route.
Have you been quiet, Riley? I have a feeling you have been.
Right, he has been quiet. If you look at him, well, he's kept back behind you, and you can see a kind of a concerned and distant look on his face.
You're, if it's worth anything, Riley, for me, that is, what you did sounds like, it was either him or Aoife. And so I'm not going to tell you not to be concerned, but I would tell you that you did the right thing.
Yeah, I know. I know it has that has to be true. But as for all of the horrible things that man has done, being the one to look him into the eyes as he was falling, as he pleaded for help that I feigned. Feigned?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel guilty at what his outcome might be.
I know a thing or two about that feeling. I wish I could tell you it'd help. It's easier, but it doesn't. But I will tell you that, unlike my circumstances, you will at least know that, regardless of what happens with him, you would have helped many, many people. Innocent people who didn't deserve what happened to them.
Yeah.
The truth is, probably none of us deserve what happens to us at the end of the day. But, I don't know, perhaps it's a lie that we tell ourselves that any of us can find any sort of justice in the world. And that's why we jump so quickly to try to make things just when we get a chance.
Riley he shakes his head. He's trying to agree with you, and he knows that it's to the heart of it. It is true, but there is a bit of Riley that's going to take a little bit to truly come to terms with that.
Understandable. And she just she doesn't say anything else. She just holds your hand while you walk to the bank.
You arrive at the London Joint Stock Bank. It's actually easy enough with the key in hand to get access to the safe deposit box. Again, you don't look too terrible. So you've got the key. The attendant walks you in and stays with you while you go to the box. But it's easy enough to go down there, find the 116. The key fits. It opens it up, and it's just a little fucking tray, and inside it there's some cash and 3 rolled up seal skins.
These are the ones we were looking for, aren't they, darling?
Small, soft, and silvery.
Does seem so.
I will take them and put them. I don't know. I don't think my pockets are that deep.
Riley can.
If they weren't full of biscuits, perhaps.
How much cash was there? I'm not going to clean this guy completely out. But,
It's in like
Leave the guy completely out.
yeah, it's in like drug dealer wads. Looking at the wads and just sort of guesstimating what the fuck.
These orphans need startup funds.
but he also cooperated, so I'm not going to completely clean
There's
him out.
probably like 2,000 pounds in there.
Okay, that's like okay. Amber, I'm going to talk some
Is
economics.
that too much? Is that crazy
That's
amount?
that's like $100 million today. Like that's
Jesus.
stupid money for
Never
a town.
mind.
Yeah. So like I mean like 400 or 500 pounds would be huge. Like
Okay, so in that case there's probably like 200 pounds in there.
okay, so in that case I will take 150. I'll leave him 50 pounds.
Pounds and ye old pounds. I know nothing of.
Yeah, no, like a pound was like a person, like a normal person probably made like
No, nothing.
10 to 12 pounds a year.
Rounded.
Like someone who was like super rich maybe had like 1,000 pounds a year in income, like super rich, right?
Oh, shit.
I know this from the Call of Cthulhu Gaslight book. That's how I know it. But yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
But-
yeah, probably about like 200 pounds then.
Okay, so in that case, I will take
Vaguely
I will
kind of
take
prejudice.
100 and you know what? 120. I'll leave him 80 pounds. 120 is good for the kids. 80 pounds. That way, he's not going to feel like completely taken advantage of, and he'll be happy he's alive, and he's still got some money, and that's.
And maybe
what
he'll leave everyone the fuck alone.
Exactly.
All right. You get the skins. You get the cash. The attendant helps you close up and relock the box. They've got one key. You've got the other sort of thing. And they escort you back out of the room.
So you said all the children are at my place, hey?
Yeah, Cecilia was
They look not
watching
good.
them. Aoife's little sister doesn't look too great, but moreover, the rest of them seem to be good. They rummaged through all of your cabinets.
My rolls. Okay, well let's
They're
stop.
gone.
Let's stop and get some food for everyone, and then
They ate your bone.
I'll relieve Cecilia, and you're welcome to stay if you want, but if you don't want to, I understand.
Hmm. The yeah, the we should probably, after getting this getting to the kids, should probably figure out how we're going to get the 3 back home.
Well, we have some money. Perhaps someone in the society has somebody on a boat that we could trust.
Hopefully. We should. Well, we'll have the 3 will have their skins back. And
Those Irishmen will probably still be out there, though, trying to catch other ones.
probably we can. I've seen their notes. I've seen Brent's notes in the fishing routes. We could probably use some contacts within the society to get those routes disrupted.
Good idea. Better than mine.
So
I've heard enough with people today.
For the time being, it seems like Mr. Hawkins we can take care of the children at the Rose House for now, and then he'll help find accommodations for the not seabound ones.
Right. Why don't we take the children to the Rose House and they'll get us all a nice dinner?
Yes.
Okay.
Order Domino's.
We'll go collect the children.
You arrive back at your apartment and the kids have been everywhere.
There are dicks everywhere.
They have found all of the dicks. They have found them all. Nothing is where you left it. All the paintings have been removed from walls, even the ones that Riley left up, and they've been moved all over the place. Nothing is destroyed. They have just kind of passed the paintings around, and they're in piles, and some are on the floor, and some are leaning against the walls. All your cupboards are open. Not a single drawer cupboard has been closed after been gone through.
Oh my god!
There is no food anywhere left in the apartment.
Honestly, there probably wasn't a lot of food here to
right
begin with.
up.
Like Rosalie's kind of like, Rosalie's like has the refrigerator's like, a half empty jar of mustard and like old pickles is like what's that's
every
what her,
pickle, the mustard jar has been run clean with fingers. Everything is gone.
Mustard pickle sandwiches. Oh boy.
That bothered by it. So she's just like, oh, well, children, I've seen you found all my artwork. What did you think of it?
So like one of the little girls like, I think it's really pretty. I like all the leaves and the colors and the way the darkness is in the pools in between the trees. And I think I like this one over here, the lady with the golden hair and the horns. She looks like a princess, but like a warrior too.
I'll tell you what then. Why don't you keep that one?
Really?
Of course.
I don't know where I'd put it.
Oh, well, we're going to solve that issue very, very soon. But why don't you take it right now? And we're all going to go to a very nice house for now. And I would say you could probably Rosalie help her roll it up and take it off its frame. And we're all going to go somewhere else now and get some really good food, okay?
They kind of the kids look bright and excited, and then it's almost occurs to them to be cautious again, and they all look towards Aoife. And Aoife's like, these are the good ones, I promised you. If they say you're going to get some food and you're going to be safe, then you're going to get some food and you're going to be safe.
Aoife, we have something for you. I'll just step aside and let Riley.
She kind of leads the way to your bedroom where Ala and Rory are. She's like, did you get them?
Yes.
Riley will
even little Ala, she kind of grunts a little bit with the effort to push herself up. She sits up a little bit.
I imagine Riley had him tucked into his
inside pocket.
Jacket. Yeah.
Yeah, they're small. They're little baby sealskins,
Mm-hmm.
They're not that big.
Yeah. So he'll take those out from the inside of his coat, and he'll let them find their own. He's not gonna try to hand them out.
Place them at the end of the bed, and Aoife walks over right away. The other kids stare at them for a moment, almost frozen. But Aoife walks out right away, and her hand shakes a little bit. She takes her glove off, and you can see the webbed fingers again as she lays her hand softly on one of the skins. And then she takes the other one with it, and she's like, we're going home, Ala. She walks over and hands one of the smallest skin to her sister. We're going home. Rory walks over to his, and he picks it up, and he says, Is it possible for them to not fit anymore?
Oh, I wouldn't think so. I'm sure. Sure it'll
know.
grow with you.
He nods. He's like, I sort of started thinking none of it might have been real for a while. And Aoife just kind of looks at him. She says, it's real, Rory. You know it is. And he just, they just kind of hold each other's gazes for a moment, and he nods. You said that you saw the papers and the logs and stuff. Do you know where they took us from? Can you get us closer to home?
There, I did see the logs and the routes, and it did seem like there were more than a few locations that were marked. Didn't note what they marked, but I can only assume it's where you two and the others, if they had picked up any more, were found.
Alla kind of says in a small voice, Aoife, what if we can't find Mom again? We're still lost. And she walks over to Alla and holds her hand, and she says, I'll fight 100 sharks and 1,000 killer whales. This still be better than Brent Allred. We'll find him, Mom. She nods. She's like, we're going to be in the water again. We're going to feel the surf. Catch fish with our teeth. And the sea is bountiful. There's so much food. We'll find Mom. And then she just like holds her little sister's head against her chest. And her little sister's just hugging the skin to her chest. Thank you.
Do you, darling, do you feel up to traveling a little bit? Not far. We'll get a cab.
She can make it. She's strong.
Let's go. Along the way, we'll get some really yummy food.
And
What
Aoife
do you
helps
like?
her sister up, and Cody helps. Rory helps too.
Do you like fish and chips?
Love fish and chips. Normally we
Alright.
only eat it out of rubbish bins, but
We'll get some nice, fresh, hot fish and chips at the 10 Bells, and then we're going to go to a really nice place for a while. All right? And then we're going to talk about how we're going to get you all home. All right?
all right.
All right. Cecilia, thank you so much. What?
Oh, Cecilia's like, of course. She's like, they were perfect angels.
Oh, I can tell.
You see, like, they're absolute chaos now.
And
Little
we'll,
did you know it was Cecilia who did
It
everything.
probably was. We'll catch a cab. On the way to the Rose House, we'll stop and just get like a load of fish and chips from the 10 Bells, and then take it to the Rose House.
All right. You load into a cab, possibly 2 cabs with all of the
Yeah.
kids, split the kids,
Hmm.
and make your procession back to the Rose House. They're like eating in the cab. They can't wait. They're going through the newspapers. Just and they're starting to lighten up a little bit. You can see like as they're like eating just greasy, delicious food really quickly. And they're all together. You can tell that the kids have almost none of these kids knew each other before Brent got a hold of them, but they're each other's family now. You can see that they've got all these little inside jokes, and they're starting to crack smiles and little laughs, and you see some of that hope coming back in, and you can see that they're still kids somehow. And there's something really heartening about that as you make your procession back to the Rose House. Meanwhile, back at the hospital, Eleanor, you've been in the hospital for like 3 hours now. Just sort of sitting, waiting, getting pitcher of water, cup of tea, wherever you can snag it.
I've definitely puked everything that is in my stomach, like outside of this hospital around the corner.
No, the nurses appreciate your effort to get it outside.
Are you looking for work, sweetie?
They're like, there's a good lass. But it's nerve-wracking, and you see people coming in and out of the waiting room that are having real bad days, real bad fucking days. People come in, they're just holding like bloody rags to their faces and stuff. Some of them are just sitting down there. One guy's like pretty sure he's got a severed finger, like wrapped in a newspaper, and he's just like sitting in a chair waiting. This is not a great place. No one here is having a good time. The nurses they're working hard. Running around, not enough hands, too many bodies. Sort of rough situation. But after about 3 hours, a doctor does come into the waiting room, escorted by a nurse. She sort of points you out, and he walks over to you. He's a small man. He's gone bald at the top, gray hair. The rest of his hair is like combed neatly back. He's got glasses on. Really, really unimposing. But he walks over to you and he says, you are with the patient with the broken legs, Brent Allred?
Yes. I brought him in.
He's like,
Are you Dr. Bancroft?
I am Dr. Bancroft.
Good.
The team worked very hard. But I'm afraid that he didn't make it. He lost too much blood. We just couldn't keep his blood pressure up, couldn't keep him going.
Oh.
He has passed away. I'm very sorry for your loss.
Oh no, thank you for your efforts. I have money that Mr. Hawkins had given me to give to you.
Ellis Hawkins?
Yes, Ellis Hawkins. He's a friend of mine.
He sort of looks around for a moment and then steps a little closer to you, and he's like, are you the next of kin for Mr. Allred, or?
No, I'm from the society.
Right. Why don't you walk with me?
Okay.
Let's get some fresh air.
Okay.
That's not my vomit.
Yeah. He walks you outside towards kind of the more manicured area of the lawn where there's a couple benches and stuff. And once you're away from like prying eyes and ears,
I'm like, that's exactly where I peeped. Yep.
Says this is society business then.
Yes, this is society business. He's not a Vaesen at all. He's just a normal man.
It's like, I don't really know much about that. What do you need to make this go smoothly from me?
He was injured out at the docks. There was some time before he actually made it to the hospital. He had a brief detour that we would appreciate no one know about.
About what time was the accident at the docks?
And
I think it was right around lunchtime.
Okay.
It was like noon, 1 o'clock.
Yes, yeah. Enter
During the
time
lunch
here.
time.
He's like, all right. Mr. Allred was brought directly to the London hospital in my care. Expired some hours later from his injuries.
Oh.
Yes, exactly.
Who might have dropped him off?
It can still be me. It can still be me. I was in the area doing some research.
Performing tricks at the dock.
Yes.
Yeah, busking. Yeah.
You were busking at the docks.
Who busts at a dock?
You, apparently.
Boys.
Yes.
And then you propositioned cart drivers.
That's true. I was trying to learn about wagons, and he happened to be in my wagon, and I, brought him off.
Did your duty as a concerned citizen and escorted him to the hospital.
Yes. Thank you, Dr.
All right,
Bancroft.
I'll just need your name and an address.
I don't think I came up with the last name.
My
but
name is Ronaldo.
You can insert last name.
Yes,
That's
okay.
fine.
I'm like, I'll give him that information.
He's like,
And I'll give
All
him
right.
my apartment information too.
so you were busking by the docks. Mr.
Yes.
Allred had a terrible accident. You were in the cab that was flagged down and offered to go with him and escort him to the hospital as he had no immediate next of
Yes.
kin in the area.
Yes.
Dropped him off. No personal connection, just a concerned citizen.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, and there were no detours?
There were no detours. Yes.
There were no.
It's like, all right.
Jess.
Just offer him my
Guess
handful
this,
of crumpled
Yeah.
money.
you should get these facts back to Ellis Hawkins and anybody else involved. And with all due luck, this will be just
Okay.
another dock accident. Tragic, but unavoidable. Everybody did all they could.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for your help, Dr. Bancroft.
Do let Ellis know that these favors cannot be frequent.
No, of course not. Of course not. We'll do our best.
I was like, all right.
Thumbs
So
up.
he's like, we just have to throw the next one in the river.
Does he take the crumpled up money, the pocket
yes, he
money?
does.
Yes, okay.
Yep, he takes it, just kind of fans through it real quick, puts it in his pocket, and he says, take care.
You as well.
Make sure the facts are consistent, and with any luck, this will all blow over.
Yes.
He gives you a nod, and he heads back into the hospital. Just leaving you outside in the gardens, and it's getting later in the afternoon now. It's probably like 6, maybe heading closer to 7 o'clock now. Sun's still up because it's summer, but getting low, getting golden.
Gotcha. Well, I guess I'll have to take the wagon back to the Rose House.
Yep, you've got the Rose House's carriage. Good horsies. They've been pulled aside and hitched somewhere. They're thirsty and fidgety, and they don't like that they've been tied up here for 3 hours without, some proper
Aw.
stabling. But they are
Aw.
okay.
Aw. I learn something new every day. Aw. Okay.
And you
Horses need
managed.
food and water.
Yep, they need food and water. They like to not just be left sitting in harnesses for 3 hours.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But they make their plodding way. They're a little bit less behaved on their way back. You can tell that they're a little upset. They give you a little bit of a hard time here or there, but you manage to, come on, food is this way. And once they get in the vicinity of Rose House, they kind of like know where food is, and they're like, and they go a little faster.
Aw.
You make your way back to the Rose House. Let me think about time here. Hours. The kids and everybody are probably already there.
Okay.
By the time that you arrive. So we're gonna pan over to the kids. You have herded the little urchins into the Rose House. Ellis says he's like, so many children. What a delight. He's being nice to them, but you can tell he's a little bit awkward around kids. Like he's like, I don't know what to do with tiny humans, and it's a little more comfortable with tiny Vaesen, it seems, actually, but he's like, hey, why don't you come to the parlor and we'll get you some biscuits with some chocolate. So they have made a sleepover of, he's like, kids like blankets and cushions that they can throw around. Here's more blankets and cushions.
This man deserves an any.
He really does. He really, really does.
So he does his best to, get them things to entertain them. They're making blanket forts and things. And
Help as much as possible too.
they're also like enamored with the things in Rose House. These kids have never seen anything like, even like the carvings on the legs of some of the furniture. And like the Rose House isn't like a extravagant wealth, but to a child that's been orphaned and lived on the street all their lives, they're like, holy shit, there's like flowers on this leg here. They're like, they're just enamored with like everything. The human ones, at least. And Alla is a little bit, she's also like, wow, it's so pretty, like looking at some of the fabrics and some of the embroidery on it. Aoife's a little bit less impressed. She's a little bit more jaded here and put together. You do catch her kind of like, what does this thing feel like? Like touching things, just the texture. But he gets the kids settled, and they're on their fucking 4th round of food at this point. They're endless pits. They're just still going on the little crumpets and sweets and things. Ellis just keeps bringing them things he thinks kids will like. He's like, this is marmalade. It's sweet. And they're just like,
Put it on your scones.
Yeah, scones and marmalade. But they seem pretty content in the parlor. If you and Riley and or Ellis have anything that you'd like to do before Eleanor arrives, we'll also check in with Ronaldo, see how long he stays at the Velvet Glove, and where he goes next. All right. Ronaldo, anything further at the Velvet Glove? How long do you stay? Do you head anywhere next?
Ronaldo will stay there for the night if he is allowed to.
He is absolutely welcome to. Brona actually lets you stay in her private quarters, the ones that she does not entertain guests in. She says the divan is very comfortable. You're welcome to it.
Thank you.
And she kind of touches your hand, gives your hand like a little squeeze, and she says, "I've got work tonight, but I'll be in late. Help yourself to anything you need. Draw a bath. Take care of yourself."
He just looks at her with empty eyes and smiles and says, "Thank you for everything."
Anytime. Us sore souls have to look out for each other.
And he does smile when she says that.
And she heads out. It's getting toward the evening, so she's going to work. But
Yeah,
you've got the run of her quarters. She seems to trust you completely. It's a shame that you can't remember exactly what you did for Mads, but whatever it was has certainly made an impression on all of these women, and they think you're good, which is an impressive thing to get an opinion of out of women who work in this profession in this sort of area.
Yeah, I think I'll sit down. I don't sit on her bed. I just sit on the floor with June, kind of off to the side of her room, and I drink and think and drink and think and drink some more until the thinking part gets a little bit harder. And I look at June, almost like I'm looking for answers. I just
She's resting
stare
her
at
head
her.
in your lap, just looking up at you. She's also got big dark eyes. They remind you a little bit of the Selkie kids.
And I say to June, but we aren't the people we were back then, are we, June? We're different now.
She takes kind of a deep breath and lets it out.
We're different now. And he just kind of closes his eyes, and just tears just kind of go down the sides of his eyes as he slowly fades away into unconsciousness.
All right. Does anybody have any business they wish to attend to before we move on to just sort of addressing how to get the Selkie children home? The Dowager, the Countess, does arrive the next morning with her carriage.
Did Nora went back to the Rose House?
Yeah,
Does
I
Nora
had to bring the
see? Can you
carriage
give the
back.
news that he died?
Yes. Yes, I would pass on word that.
That's a good scene, actually. Let's do that before we move on to
Yeah,
the next
yeah. I
day
think
here.
that's meaty.
Nora, you make your way back to the Rose House with the coming dusk, and the Rose House is bustling. There are kids.
Oh, the children are
in
here.
the living
That's
room.
good. That's
Alice
good.
is like, yes, the children are here. All of them. They're 7.
Oh, good.
7
Yes, they
7
all made it.
humans
Yes.
and 3 Vaesen children. There's 10.
Yes. Yes. You're doing an excellent job, Mr. Hawkins.
Stellar service is my pride.
You got them all here tonight. That's great. That's great. They'll be safe here. No offense, Rosalie. I mean, your place is safe. It's just a little
My
small.
place is a shithole.
It's just
No,
small.
they needed a place safe. It's
Small, and there's more food here. And Mr. Hawkins.
Right. And yeah, again, my place is disgusting. It's fine for me, but not for children.
If I could speak to you and Riley alone, and maybe Mr.
Sure.
Hawkins for a brief moment away from the prying ears, although maybe Aoife would be happy to know too. They did their best. He did not make it. A lot of injured people go to the hospital.
Oh. Rosalie actually sits down, and you see tears in her eyes.
Oh, Rosalie.
I just, I don't know. I mean, he wasn't a good man, but I was really kind of cruel to him.
I mean, he was cruel to a lot of others.
That doesn't excuse it, does it?
Don't. You hear Aoife's voice from the doorway. She walks in. She says, "Don't you shed a single tear for him. He's a horrid monster. When Ola was getting sick, he told me if I didn't bring back her share every night, that he'd put her, still wriggling, in the bin of fish that had turned and dump her into the harbor with the trash. I'm glad he's dead, and you should be too.
Okay, dear.
Don't waste your tears."
Thank you, dear. She reaches out, and her fingers are like blackened still, and like not cold anymore, but still achy. But she reaches out and grasps like the webbed hand of.
She leans in and she hugs you around
Yeah.
the neck.
She goes,
And while she's like giving you a squeeze, she looks at Riley. She just meets your eyes, Riley, and she mouths, and then she tucks her face down against your shoulder for a moment.
I get a good big hug.
And she
Rosalie,
sort
what-
of pulls away and she just looks at all three of you and she just kind of nods and heads back out to the other children.
As soon as she leaves, Rosalie, what happened to your hand? Are you
No.
all right?
Should
Should someone look at that?
No, it'll go away. It's just I brought some more of Mog back with me than I thought. That's all.
Good or bad or unsure?
Well, good in this instance.
No idea. No idea, Troy. I have no idea what that was. The ghosts have followed us. It's a Vaesen.
I was like,
Fucking
Mog
this
is with
Christian's
us.
over here.
Mog
Chris
is with
is
us.
logged in with his fucking audio. I was like, what the fuck is that?
We did something wrong.
Christian, if you didn't catch it, your audio was
It
going
was
off
chanting.
on
It was chanting.
Really? That's
Yeah, it
fucking
made a very
awesome.
weird.
I actually did not. I did not hear that, but Mog was
that's
with
why
me.
like
Talk about Mog.
I was like,
great.
I said that, and everybody like looked at each other. I'm like, what the fuck did I say? But it's cool. Mog was here. Mog came back with me. Santos,
Espiritus.
Oh God. I've heard that far too much in the last year. Okay. Riley?
I think I'm gonna turn in for the night. It's been a long day.
Riley, what I said before stands. It's not doesn't make it easier, but perhaps, well, if one of them were your child, you would want someone to do what you did today.
He'll on his way out the door, you're right. But it doesn't make it any lighter for the one who had to do it.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
And Riley will go to the room that has been given to him at the Rose House.
I'll never forget it.
Nope. Me neither.
Isaac.
Somber evening for the adults, made perhaps all the more poignant by the faint sounds of children's laughter and giggling coming from the parlor
Yeah, we're gonna
late
go
into
be
the
with the
night.
kids.
Yeah, Rosalie's going to stay here. I'm assuming we'll just handle the other business in the morning because it's been quite enough of a day for everyone. So she'll take one of the rooms and fall asleep. But as she falls asleep, she's just kind of like flexing her fingers to try to get feeling back into them. And eventually, she gets her hands warmed up enough. And in the morning, they're fine.
Morning finds you all. Ronaldo, do you make your way back to Rose House in the morning after perhaps a breakfast and some hair of the dog, or?
No, Ronaldo's not gonna drink in the morning. He's also gonna pass on breakfast. Actually, he thanks the gals for letting him spend the night somewhere warm and safe. And he'll get up and he'll go for a walk with June. But he's not ready to go back to the Rose House. Not yet.
Also, random side note, I feel like offering someone to like have a bath or draw a bath from themselves, I feel like is the nicest thing I've ever heard someone offer another person. I was like, holy shit, that's so nice.
Mhm.
That's some trust right there.
Yeah. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep. And Ronaldo also says that he will make sure he pays them for the liquor, and he apologizes that he doesn't have the means right now, but he insists that he'll make it up to them.
Don't charge friends.
He nods. Yeah. So Ronaldo won't be here for the kind of end scene of
For the
this, most
conclusion,
likely.
you're gonna
Yeah.
so you're gonna go spend some time walking the
Mhm.
streets with June,
Mhm.
visiting some memories. All right. In the morning, the Countess does arrive with two carriages. She had gotten the correspondence from Ellis. She comes into the Rose House and she's like, it's been some time since the Rose House has been so lively. And the kids are like demolishing breakfast, and Mrs. Morley is just like making another batch of eggs, and she's just like plopping down these huge ass portions for all these kids. And Mrs. Morley is loving it. She's loving having all these like kids around and stuff. And she's like, oh, you little dears. And Mrs. Morley also like put kind of before setting to work, took all the kids into the bathroom and got them cleaned up to the best of her ability too. She made sure that they got the opportunity to wash up a bit and be a little more presentable. Not the Vaesen children though. She does not appear to be able to see them right now. They've kind of with the morning and stuff sequestered themselves into the library. Actually, they're hanging out there, just the three of them with their skins, talking about finding their parents, what's going to happen next, making their little plans. But the human kids are going ham on some. They're eating scones with marmalade, man. They don't care.
Yeah, sure. Me too.
And the Countess arrives and she's like, I have there's some children that need looking after.
Yes. Well, there's well, I suppose he doesn't need it anymore. I have this money. I'll just lay out the 120 pounds, and I'm like, there's another 80 in box
Holy.
116. This is the key for it. I guess he's not going to need it. I was going to leave it for him, but he doesn't need it anymore. So there's
Best not to completely clear out the box. I think Ellis had
Suspicious.
mentioned there were some complications last night. But yes, we can certainly make use of these funds for helping to settle the little ones. It's
we
been
also
a long
have
time.
the special ones we need to get home.
We need a boat.
Yes,
A ship.
perhaps. She pulls out kind of an appropriate portion of pounds to you and she says, you may need to charter a vessel.
Do we know anyone who was can handle the children? Can we trust?
Oh, I think we're going with them.
Oh, I'm down with that. but
I think we're going with them.
I'm
Yes.
totally down with that. Okay.
You know what? Captain Sigurdsson. If he is in at the if he's in at the harbor, he'll take you.
Like to go, Eleanor. What about you? Have you been to sea?
Did we not take a boat to get to? No, we took train.
Or train?
No, this
Yeah.
would be my first time because that was my first time leaving London. So this would be my first time
I
on
haven't been
the
out
ocean.
far to sea, but I wouldn't mind. I don't think. I just have a certain thing to go to at some point in time that I don't remember for a certain rich.
It was a next month thing. You have
Oh,
time.
cool. I got plenty of time because it's not that far from Britain to Ireland. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
right.
I need to pack a few things, but yes, I would love to go on do some research about the ocean and boats and stuff.
And how do
Countess,
these move?
there's also this boat of Irishmen that they're catching the children.
Hmm.
Do we
The
have anyone who can discourage
Daraga.
that?
The
Dara-
Duragar. The
Daraga.
Duragar.
Daraga.
Yep, the Daraga.
Daraga.
Oh.
That is a problem. Let Ellis and I work on that while you get the children home safely.
Daruga.
Maybe that you have another job to wrap up when you return, but I think first priority is seeing the little ones home.
I would be happy to wrap that job up, but well, I already caused enough of a stir. So
Yes, you said the Daraga is the boat.
yes.
Yes. It travels from Ireland to London quite regularly.
I'll see what I can do. And she smiles, and you remember that she is the oldest member of the society here, and she used to do her own investigating in her younger years. And then she walks into the kitchen with the children, and she's like, "Hello, little ones."
Aw.
They're like, whoa, what a fancy lady.
She's
Right,
like, "You're
well,
going to come to my estate for a while before we can find some proper lodgings for you all."
Oh,
And she's like, and they're like, "You're rich. You must be very rich." And she's like, "I am a countess." And they're like, "Well, ma'am, your lady, your majesty, you're."
Aw.
And she's like, "No, none of that. You can call me Alma."
Aw.
Oh, I love Alma.
Cute.
And she just goes in and she has breakfast with the kiddos and is talking to them, and she's telling them about her state. She's like, "We have a beautiful butterfly garden that you can go in, and so you can come to the stables and meet the horses. And we will definitely find a safe place for you all." And she's just sort of reassuring them and getting them excited about coming back to her estate for a little while.
Cute.
Although
No. Oh, no. He left the hospital rather abruptly. He had a rather hard time with
that's
things.
too bad. I would like to talk to him.
Yeah, he seemed to be having a hard time.
I wasn't quite
After our
myself with
carriage
him
ride.
yesterday, and I don't I owe him an apology.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything to him, but I got caught up with myself a little bit, and well, I don't think he liked what he saw.
How vague?
What's that?
I said, how vague?
How
I mean,
remarkably unhelpful.
I don't
mean,
think he liked
no,
me
no.
torturing the man.
no. I did that. You didn't. No, thank you.
No, vagueness was good. Ambiguity's fine. Fuck.
I mean, I think I think the advice that you gave Riley is still fitting. You did what you had to do, and it was necessary for the circumstances at hand, and he certainly deserved it.
It doesn't make it easier, but he did. Is Riley in the room?
No,
Sure.
Riley is been holed up in his room for the
Okay.
morning.
Good. Only because Rosalie would not have said this in front of Riley, but she just says vaguely, Eleanor, you're there, but she's really just saying it kind of to herself. She just goes, at least Riley has the comfort of knowing that he deserved it. For sure.
Oh. Oh.
So, Captain Sigurd, right? Let's go find him.
Yes.
Riley, there's a knock on your door.
Oh.
It will be a moment, but Riley will.
Is it a little knock or a big knock?
It's a quiet knock.
Riley will eventually answer the door.
It's
Few
Ellis.
moments. Mr.
Don't mean
Hawkins.
to intrude, but I thought you might want to talk a moment.
Bit of company is better than doing what I've been doing this morning.
He's got a tray with some tea and a light breakfast on it. And he comes into your room and sets it on like the little table nook.
Troy!
Jesus.
No!
Please, come in.
It's the sound of one hand
that are
clapping.
watching and don't have access to the group chat.
Yeah.
It's just
God damn
good
it.
stuff. Good stuff.
But he sets the food on the table and gestures for you to take a seat and then takes a seat himself. He says, I've been in service to the society for a long time. A very long time. And I know it is small comfort in these moments, but I have seen many young men and women walk the road you're on. And it is a hard road. It will change you. But change is neither bad nor good. It's just different. You get to choose what it means. And for whatever my opinion means, humble butler that I am, I think you've done well by those children. Brent had a lot of choices in his life. Those children did not. And that does matter.
Thank you, Mr. Hawkins. Your words, as well as the others I've received this past day or so, they do ease my mind a little bit.
It'll
But-
take time. But you will think about it a little less each day. Likely not ever stop thinking about it entirely, but for today, you have a task ahead of you. Your work is not yet done.
Yes, the little ones do need to get home. And I can't quite help them out wallowing in here.
I know you'll see them home safe.
The
Sips his tea and has the smallest bit of toast.
mhm. Riley will enjoy the food that Ellis has brought.
He says, I will help prepare your wards for the coming journey. And excuses himself.
Thank you.
All right, folks. We're heading into the final scenes here, wrapping up. Everybody heading to the docks, the three of you?
Yeah.
Yep.
With the children in tow. Ellis prepares the carriage for you. Eleanor, you're getting better at it. Alice gives you some words of encouragement. He's like, I do wish I could drive it, but so many duties here. I cannot possibly leave the Rose House at this time. A lot of cleaning and tidying to do.
Wait, we're taking the carriage out there. How will the carriage get back? Someone needs to drive us and drop us off.
Oh dear, you're all going on the journey. Right. Best you hail a cab.
Yes, yes, yes.
Take care. Fair winds. Goes back inside like, the destruction of the parlor.
I was just going to say, I feel like Mr. Hawkins loves the Rose House the best when no one is in it.
Can't say
I
I
get the
blame him.
feeling.
All right. You guys get a cab. Because there are 3 of you, it's easy enough to get into the cab, and the children are subtle enough to get in without being seen or noticed by a cabbie. There's enough movement from you all to mask theirs when they sneak inside. They're all still like clutching their skins, tucked under their arms or in their hands. They can't stop touching them. They won't let go. They slept with them last night, like curled against their bodies. But they kind of huddle into the cab with you, and you make your way down to the docks. Takes a little bit of asking around. The kids in tow following behind you, like almost like little ducklings now. It's so weird. Aoife's so she's always been so fiery, so bold. But holding the skins now with the journey ahead of you being this close to getting what she's worked for so hard, she actually seems her age for a little bit. Following along, holding her sister's hand, not talking too much, just staying near. Letting someone else take the lead and take care of her for once. You track down Captain Sigurdsson. He is happy to take you. And he asks after Alma. He's like, how is Alma? It's been a while.
How does he ask though? Does he ask or does he ask? Like,
there's a fondness in his voice. Whether or not it is they have a romantic history is hard to tell, but you can tell that they have at least been friends for some time, though perhaps not keeping in touch very frequently.
She's quite well.
And he kind of glances down at the children huddled behind you for a moment, and he just smiles at you. You know that he can see them too. He has the sight for sure. But he welcomes you aboard his vessel. It is a small-ish vessel. He's only got the one ship hand who helps him out, and he sort of lets you know, Charlie there is a good lad. It's got kind of normal seeing, though, if you know what I mean.
Gotcha. It's all right. They'll stay out of his way. Oh, Ronaldo shows up at the boat.
Shoot, I forgot. I was supposed to say, yeah. No, Ronaldo is at the docks.
Oh, Ronaldo is at the docks.
Rewind a moment there as you approach when you're looking around hunting for Captain Sigurdsson. You see Ronaldo waiting.
Oh.
You see Ronaldo's dog first, then notice him.
How does he look? Does he look normal bad or bad?
Ronaldo looks unwell. He looks sick.
Bad.
Which he's obviously older, like ancient by the standards of today.
Right.
But he always has some sort of like youthfulness to him, whether it's a gleam in his eyes or whether it's like the strength of his body or the charm of his smile. But he looks sick today.
Ronaldo.
He kind of moves forward as you guys step out of the cab, and he says, I figured I'd see you guys here. We had some unfinished business after all. And he looks at the little kiddos that are with you guys too, the Selkies, and he just kind of waves to them.
Give you a little wave with those weirdly gloved hands.
Yep. The Countess was nice enough to charter us a ship to help get these little ones home. We're just looking for it now. I'm glad to see you again, Ronaldo.
He nods his head. Kind of looks to the rest.
Yeah.
Kind of looks to the rest of you and says, Do we know what the ship's captain is or what the name of the ship is?
Captain Siggy something.
Sigurdsson
Sigurdsson.
of
Hmm.
the.
Do I know
remember
this
they-
person from working at the docks or no?
Baleen. The
You
Baleen.
don't actually. It's a smaller vessel that hasn't had need of many hands, so
Captain Sigurdsson of the Baleen.
I said the Baleen. Yeah.
we'll take it.
I feel like it needs another. That's fine.
The baleen. It's
Baleen
just like the
maiden.
whale teeth.
It's the whale teeth. The Baleen.
Ironically,
maiden
also
there,
the title of one of Rosalie's pieces, the Baleen. Well, I'm not familiar with that boat, but believe it or not, that narrows it down a bit.
You help them find the ship. Ronaldo?
Mhm.
Are you okay, Ronaldo? You disappeared again last night.
Just had to. I just kind of look at you and
Yeah.
I don't even really have anything to say. And I just say, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't say I'll be okay. I don't say I'll be okay. I say everything will be okay.
Yeah. All right, time to get the kitties home.
Rosalie will keep her distance from Ronaldo until we're out on the like leaving.
On
The
the
river.
waters. Once you're
Yeah.
trapped.
You're going
in
with them on
water
the ship,
nowhere
Ronaldo?
for him to go.
Yes.
I've got you now.
All
Ha ha.
Y'all's board. There's a small cabin you all have to share. It's a tiny ship, but the kids are safe there from being discovered or bumped into by Charlie. As soon as you're kind of out of the Thames and into like the salt water proper, the kids they can't stay in the cab. They run to the bow of the ship and they're just like skins tucked under one arm, fingers grasping like the railing, leaning over just into the spray of the sea. Their eyes are wide, but for the first time, like the color in their skin is coming back a little bit, and even little Ala seems a little bit stronger and more sure-footed. Once the roll of the waves is taking the boat.
About how long is this trip?
I have no fucking idea.
It's
How
not
long
far.
does it take
It's
to
not
get
far.
to Ireland? It's like a couple
Even with-
hours, right?
Even with a steamship, it's probably not that far.
Okay.
This
I
is a
don't
couple
like
days or a
week's
couple
worth,
hours
right?
or
Maybe
days,
a
maybe.
day. Let's call it a
Sailing
day.
ship?
Yeah, I'll just say
Day.
like a guess is a day, right? Yeah.
The captain asks for some some direction here. Riley knows best about that.
Yep.
He brings you down to his charts and stuff, and he's like, I understand you're trying to get the little ones home. You have any idea which shores we might be searching?
I saw a handful. I can point out the best area that I can on your maps. Hopefully get us close to where they can remember.
Much appreciated. And as you circle some places, he taps one of the spots and he says, I met a selkie here once about 15 years ago. Maybe he's still in the area. Seems a good place to start.
Better than any other.
He's like, all right, hopefully the fair weather holds. I have a feeling it will. And he goes off to do his captaining and boating.
His boating.
You've got a few, probably like a day and a half, or so to be in close quarters with your team and these children who are mostly content to stay on the bow and watch the sea. Honestly, they don't really want to go inside or rummage through things or anything. They just want to be as close to the waves in the water as they can.
At some point, preferably, I know it's a small boat, like away from other people. Rosalie's looking for a point to get Ronaldo kind of alone.
Yeah, Ronaldo's been just very captivated by watching the kids kind of enjoy themselves
As
and their lives again.
Rosalie's been enjoying watching that as well.
Yeah, for sure. But aside from that, he's not particularly talkative with the rest of the group.
Yeah. And to be fair, she hasn't been like totally avoiding you. She's been talking to you, but she's just been looking for this moment. So maybe there's a night you're looking at the sea or, whatever, but she approaches you.
I like it.
And kind of leans on the railing next to you and just kind of looking out maybe over the water and at the coastline going by. And she goes, I owe you an apology, my friend.
Ronaldo kind of just turns to look at you a little bit and he says, what for?
Well, I shouldn't have talked to you the way I did, and I'm sorry you saw me that way. But for what it's worth, and I hope you believe me, I was never going to kill him.
Ronaldo looks at you and he says, Rosalie, there's enough judgment in this world. More than enough.
I know
I don't
about
need to
that.
judge you. You're a friend. And honestly, that's not something I can say about too many people. And then he kind of swallows hard and looks out to the sea a little bit and he says, but I believe, I have to believe, that when you get to the end and you find that there's even more, and then you travel further and you find that there's even more after that, and before you know it, this end that we speak of doesn't appear anywhere to be found, well, then what are we left with? And I kind of look at you when I say this and I say, all we have is the means.
She puts her arm around you and kisses you on the cheek. And she says,
I'll give her a hug.
I'm glad you're my friend. I don't have many of those either.
He gives her a warm hug, a tight hug.
Okay.
All right. Late that night, Eleanor, you're in the crowded cabin with your friends. Alla is asleep. Rory and Aoife are elsewhere, probably on the deck still. But you can't get to sleep. There's a little itching, almost like a tiny little claw scratching on the inside of your skull, like, I need you. And it will not let you rest.
Yeah, I'll sneak out if as best as I can to like a dark corner if I can. If the kids are out there, maybe like putting something in between us, right? So my back is to them. Or
You
like
go
a
to the rear of
cabin
the ship.
side.
They're at the
Yeah,
front. You can-
exactly. Exactly. And I'll sneak it out as quietly as I can to drop a little drop a little spit into the cage.
You pull out the tiny box, open the lid, and the little secret coils inside, looking up at you with beady black eyes. I've seen a lot of dark-eyed creatures these past few days, but these are different. They are hard as onyx, endlessly deep, like they could swallow you if you look too long. And you work up a little saliva and pay your tribute. The little claw on the inside of your skull eases a moment, feather light, somehow worse, before it fades away.
Yeah, then I'll just put that into my little bag and sneak back inside.
Fucking Troy.
I know, fucking Troy. Someday I'll just throw this pack into the ocean and it'll be great.
The next day, you are in the general area of some of the targeted spots, and Captain Sigurdsson brings you in close to different rocky shorelines and outcroppings that are frequented by seals. The kids are super excited. Aoife keeps telling Rory like about her family and her pod. I don't know if they're pods with seals, probably not. Or
No, I think it
pride,
is.
I don't know.
Close.
Whatever
No,
seals
I think
are.
it's a pod.
Somebody look up what a group of seals is.
Okay, Ken's got
I want to know.
Me too.
I was muted. I said 18-year-olds with delusions of grandeur.
Ah,
Get it?
uh,
The Navy variety.
Ooh, a pod or a bob.
Oh, I was right with pod or bob. That's
wait.
adorable.
Or a
No.
herd. A herd.
they're a bob, a herd, or a harem.
Harem. Well, I have heard harem, but I think harem is just like the one male seal with his like
We're gonna go with Bob.
lady seals.
Yeah, Bob is good. I like a
And
Bob
about
seal.
her Bob, which is adorable.
A Robert, if we're being official.
And how like her
I
mom
do
knows
love
like a
that.
lot of other Bobs and whatnot, and she's sure that she'll be able to find his mom and his family soon enough. But in the meantime, it'll be really fun for him to stay with them for a little while, and they're just very excited. Ala actually has like a spring in her step; she can walk unassisted right now, which is really nice to see. Their hair, which was all like greasy and tangled like rat's nest, has somehow like it looks much cleaner, more free, though it still looks damp and very like sleek. They just look so much more alive right now. And they're running around and looking at different shores and making strange noises. Aoife sings a few times. Just like not great singing, not soft singing, like at the top of her lungs, like she's singing out into the sea. She teaches Ala a couple songs, just trying to get an answer, trying to find their family. And you go up and down the coasts and search for like the entire day. And later towards the day, the kids are starting to get a little bit dejected. But Aoife keeps trying to cheer up Ala, and she's like, we just started looking, like they're gonna hear us. They're gonna hear us. Just might take a little while, you know. Maybe it'll be easier for them to hear us at night, without all the ships and stuff. Just trying to keep her spirits up, but the sun does set and night does grow on the ocean. Captain Sigurdsson's happy to keep looking into the dark up and down the coast. Ala eventually goes back to sleep in the cabin for a little bit. And Rory goes with her, but Aoife stays on the deck, still searching, still singing, still humming sometimes, throwing small bits of fish and things into the water. Jesus Christ, what is happening in the chat right now?
Just don't look. Keep going. You're doing wonderfully.
I shouldn't have asked and I should have stopped.
God damn it. But it is quite late. You're just drifting kind of with a gentle breeze at this point, down the coast, and it's a beautiful clear day. There is a fair wind and you can see so many stars. And the moon is actually just beautiful, full and silver. Just a gorgeous moon. And it's quiet. Sound carries for fucking miles on the ocean right now.
They can't dip into the water for a little bit.
They haven't yet. But Aoife is standing at the bow of the deck and she's singing. And she's singing in a language that none of you know. Riley, it sounds a little bit like Gaelic in some ways, but it's not quite. Just singing this it's a sad song. It's a song about just longing and homesickness. And from the little few words you can piece that together there that are kind of cognates or similar. But you can feel it in your chest, even those of you who can't understand the song itself. And she's not singing at the top of her lungs anymore. She's singing softly, almost a lullaby. But there's a little kind of crest of silver that breaks the waves ahead, and a sound. It's not words. It's not quite whale song either. It is musical though. It's like nothing you've ever heard. The hairs on the back of your neck and your arms go up, but it's not with fear. It's with awe, like just staring at something. The sound feels like looking at the ocean for the first time or looking down off the top of a mountain. And Aoife just screams. She's like, Aurori! Aurori, they're here! But she doesn't tear herself away from the bow. And she like leans over the edge, looking into the water. And she's like, Mom, it's me, Mom. I didn't let them take Alla. We're back. A second later, Rory and Alla like burst onto the deck, and they come running. And Alla just leans over the deck. She screams, Mom! And out of the swirling black, like a woman's head kind of emerges, and she's got beautiful dark hair in the moonlight. Silver's just glinting off of it. Big black eyes, just like the children. She's lovely. And just from like the shoulders up, and she just, in that strange language you don't understand again, she just sort of cries out and reaches her hands up. And Aoife's already like tearing off her clothes, and she swings the skin around her shoulders. And you see the skin just take her in this like shiver of magic. It rushes over her body, and her body just turns sleek and beautiful and elegant. And she's just like this beautiful silvery little seal pup. And just launches herself off the edge of the boat into the water. Alla and Rory are right behind her. And the woman disappears below the waves for a moment. You can see the current of other sleek as bullets, elegant bodies just swimming through the water, kind of all around you, and that strange lyrical language just sort of peaks and ebbs here and there. The notes strangely different when they're issued below the water as above the water, creating this kind of bouncing melody of highs and lows. And then the woman emerges again, with the long dark hair around her shoulders. And it's a small vessel. She puts her hand on the side of the hull and kind of lifts her body a little bit higher. She's naked to the waist. And everywhere the moonlight touches her, she's just silvery. She looks at you and she says, "You saved my child, my children." Who do I have to thank?
I look at Riley and Rosalie.
Yeah. Rosalie just steps back and gestures to Riley.
She kind of motions you closer, issuing you to like lean over the edge of the ship with her webbed fingers.
Riley will get closer and lean in.
She stares into your eyes. And for a moment, you feel like you're going to fall in. You feel almost like the gravity of the entire sea pulling you in the wake of her eyes. But you stay aboard. And she says, "There's a hole in your heart, like the one just filled in mine. You've lost a child."
I have. And like yours, I hope one day mine will be returned to me as well.
We leave no kindness unpaid. They give us, offer a drop of blood to the sea. And should your kin ever touch the water, we will know. We will find him. We will bring him to you. The ocean runs to many worlds.
With a astonished kind of like a weight has been lift lifted off of Riley for a little bit. He sits up and kind of leans back, and he nods, and do I have a knife? I do not have a knife.
Rosalie
Rosalie's
pulls
got
one
the
out and
dagger.
gives it to her.
Yeah. I was like, someone has a dagger.
Rosalie
June
pulls
just
it out and
bites
just
your
hands it to you.
fucking leg.
Oh yeah, that's true. There you go. Rosalie hands you her
Yeah,
dagger.
definitely.
Yeah.
Because she's standing close enough to have heard this. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, like, I probably have like a maybe not a combat knife, but a small knife.
I think it's fitting for you to use Rosalie's. So we kind of did this together, but you took the harder part of it.
Yeah.
So Rosalie wants to help you here. Use my knife and just do it. Damn it.
Riley will he'll slice his palm and hold it over the water.
You let drops of your blood run into the water, and she closes her eyes, and you hear almost like a low collective hum from her and several others beneath the waves. Then she opens her eyes again, and she says, "If ever he touches the sea, we will find him and return your pup to you, as you have done for me."
Thank you. This, as you know, means so much.
Do not give up on them. My children have taught me that they are stronger than I ever could have imagined. Then she kind of gives you a wistful little smile, and you see the body of a little seal pup kind of come swimming up, and the little head like pokes up out of the water near the hull of the boat. And there's like two more behind. And the woman sort of smiles and pushes away from the hull, reaches a hand out, touches the sleek little head of one of the pups, and then sinks below the waves. The pups stay for a moment or two longer, swimming little circles around each other, making happy little vocalizations and sounds. They look at you and they can't speak anymore, not in a tongue that you understand. She can tell they'll miss you, and they will never forget. And then they too, like little slivers of silver, dive below the waves. Thank you all for watching.
Wow. Damn. Good job.
I do want to do one thing.
Sure.
On the way back. I have a fiddle. That's my personal memento. And I want to try and commit to memory the song that Aoife was singing, but in fiddle form, obviously. I don't know if a fiddle can do that, but
All right. Yeah, no, it had a
Is it
melody.
like a
It had
violin?
notes.
A fiddle and a violin are actually the same
Similar.
instrument.
Are they?
Yeah, I think there might be like
fiddle is
maybe
smaller.
slight differences, but yeah, they're
They can
just
essentially do the same things. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if a fiddle had the same string sort of
Yeah.
range. Okay.
A fiddle is just a smaller violin.
Yeah, I will also do that. Try and learn that on the journey home.
Riley will make an accompaniment of that with his
Aoife-
whistle.
Aoife is sketching. Beautiful
Rosalie.
woman with Rosalie. Rosalie's sketching Aoife and Rory and Ola and her mother in the moonlight. And the waves. Yeah, with the coast in the background.
Ronaldo is just dying inside.
Yeah.
literally.
Yes. Okay.
Wow. Damn.
That was
And
Yeah.
the good
fun.
weather holds all the way back to London.
That was really great.
That was amazing.
That was
That was so
amazing.
cool.
Amazing.
That was so cool.
I'm glad you guys liked
That
it.
was so
This
cool.
was supposed to be a 1-session interlude before the next mystery, and it turned into a whole mystery of its own. But I
No,
love the
that
way
was
that
great.
things expand.
That was really, really great. That was amazing.
Thank you so much for playing. I'm excited. I was like originally planning to maybe do a original one, then I was like, nah, I'm too tired. I'm not going to do an original adventure. I'll just do a little. I'll do the little entanglement. That's not what it's called in Vaesen. Thing between sessions, and then I did do a homebrew mystery.
Boom.
Huh.
And it turned out
Yeah.
great. That was
It
really
turned out-
good.
that was
That was
awesome.
really great.
That was awesome.
Throwing everyone's back stuff in there too.
I had something for each of you too, depending on who came forward. I've had a feeling it was going to be Riley who came forward, but I had a little boot depending on
Mm-hmm.
each of you. Who might have
Oh,
come forward.
really?
Yeah,
Oh.
Cool. Very
it's
cool.
good. I can recycle them
Yeah, you save
if
it.
needed.
Nothing's ever wasted as a DM because we don't know what it is. So you just
Yeah. Definitely
tuck
wasn't
it
gonna
away
be.
for
All I
later.
did was ride a wagon.
It's all grist for the DM mill.
That's right.
Grist.
Grist.
Jesus.
So thanks for watching. We don't have Sarah to do this for us tonight, so I'll do it, I guess. Unless you want to do it, Jess.
No.
Yeah, well, big guy put you on the spot.
No.
No.
Yeah, I'm considering writing this up and putting it on.
Oh, you
like,
100%
draft
or
should. You
something.
100% should.
I have to write a lot
Absolutely.
because literally, like,
Nothing.
Okay.
But-
You'll be fine. It's not like you're not a writer or whatever.
So, first of all, check out Rainy Runs RPGs.
Rainy plays games.
Why do I? Because it's his Discord name is Rainy Runs
I
RPGs.
know. Rainy plays games.
Check out Rainy Plays Games. One of these days, I'll actually remember it.
It's RPG.
He's finished
Plays.
Iron Sworn. I know that, and he's
that's
going to start
hilarious.
something new soon. But I don't know what he's going to start soon.
You know, I
Uh,
actually don't know either what his thing is next. I haven't finished Iron Sworn yet, so he
The
might have
ending was
talked.
good.
Yeah, I was gonna say he might have talked about it at the end, but I'm only like partway through. So
So, but definitely check that out. He's doing great and cool and exciting stuff. I still have to be on there, so I have to talk to him about that because he hasn't interviewed me yet. He probably doesn't want to. And that's it, really. If you want to get in touch with us, you can reach us. We're DMs After Dark pretty much anywhere on any social media platform. You can also email us at dmsafterdark@gmail.com. I have received all of the cat and dog and pet pictures. There will be
Yes.
coming soon a Pets After Dark montage
No.
for our
Familiars.
collection. And
let's not call it
The
that.
After Dark Army
Edition.
Familiars Edition.
the After Dark
Yes.
Army Familiars. I like
There we
that.
go.
That's good. That's good.
That's
That's
much
better.
better.
Jess.
Pets
Yeah,
After
Jess.
Dark. I'm just picturing like cats laying lewdly as they do.
As they
Just
do.
cats carrying dicks on top corners of.
Oh, that
pages
would
of
Yeah.
be pretty
German
cool.
Just leg up,
That would be
licking
pretty
butthole.
cool.
Yeah.
You would
Speaking
too
of.
if you could. So anyway, yeah, we're DMs
Oh my God.
If you want to write out to us, reach out to us. Like
How
and
long did that
subscribe
take you?
on YouTube.
I found it and copied it.
Yeah, that's all I have. Wow, that's amazing.
There's a giant dick in the chat.
That is amazing. That is really
God.
good.
I found
I
a
wish
bigger
I
one, but I
never
can't.
asked.
I
Yeah.
found
I'm
a bigger
honestly
one,
impressed, but I
couldn't
wish
find
I
it.
never
I
asked.
couldn't actually.
I did not
transfer
expect
it
that
over yet.
last one.
I
But
didn't.
anyway.
No one did.
No one did.
I
Troy
saw
did,
it
but he
kill
doesn't
us,
look at
and
my
I saw-
texts.
Oh.
That's what we got. So anyway, guys, good night. Thanks for watching. Until
Good night,
next
everyone.
time,
Hey, Sylvie,
hug your
I don't
mom.
know. Hug your mom.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
no. Not everyone has moms.
Well, Jesus, that's a downer.
I'm just
Hug
saying.
yourself.
No, I mean, some people
Hug-
have like 2 dads and stuff, you know.
Hug yourself.
Right.
Someone you love.
You
Hug
don't
a
have-
parent.
Okay, hug someone you love. Yes.
And if
All
you
right, there
don't
you
love anyone, get therapy.
Yeah, true. All right. Good night,
Hug
everyone.
someone you love.